Yeah. Welcome to D Free Sports, where the NFL and not the NBA take the stage and hold center court. This be your channel for live, insightful commentary, your one fat source for combat sports. I hope you keeping up, cause I don't wanna lose. Y'all free, got the illest insight on boxing and foosball. Hosted by D Free, this channel dives deep into the X's and O's, so what be stepping on toes? Of course your man Judah always flexing his flows. I hope you checking your tone, give mad respect for the show. This ain't a channel for hate, you dudes ain't smooth enough, and if you cowards wanna debate, my man will chew you up. A lot of streamers be frontin', son, get your money up. He broadcasting live from the District of Columbia. Subscribe now and stay locked all season long, and bob your head to the music of my theme song. Yeah. You know the deal. It's Judah Ben. Shout out to D Free. Broadcasting live from Washington, D.C. Word 'em up. Yo, tune in. He going live. NFL Sunday. Word 'em up. Yeah. Yo, you know the deal. You nothing change. Judah Ben. Yo. Here we go again to open up the show again. Suckers want to copy, so they try to wonder where we been. It's Thomas from the Bronx talking boxing, football and baseball, and sometimes wrestling. Plus he all about the dough like Fosse. You might even catch him live, be on IG. You know he still rock with sock, even when the whole block is hot, chillin' in the cut like a doc. A lot of cowards, they act fake in a spot, like they taking a spot, but imitators a pop. Tommy dropping out gems like a treasure chest. Every other week you might catch him with a special guest. Like the champ Keith Cologne, he's a regular. Took pics with Bud, so you better show him love. BVO and D Free playing safety. They blocking all nonsense. Sonny, change your conscience. Yo. You already know the deal. Judah Ben. Tell a friend to tell a friend, son. Tommy from the Bronx. BVO, D Free, Socrates in the spot. East St. Louis.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We are back. Classic. We are back. We are back.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Happy Friday to everyone coming through and in the building and catching this on the replay. Hope everybody is doing well. It's a fight prediction show today. Boogie Down Boxing in effect. My man D Free is up in here. Shout out to the People's Network, the Sports Talk Network. Shout out to my man D Free. Go catch him live on his channel. He's streaming live right now from his platforms as well. You know, shout out to the whole Sports Talk Network squad. Shout out to the usual suspect 6. And shout out to you guys coming through in the building. We're going to talk a little boxing today. We got some good fights this weekend. And I'm pretty hyped for it. Pretty pumped up. Got some good matchups tomorrow night And in the afternoon as well, there's some fights also streaming overseas as well, I think, on the Zone. So first things first, what's good with you? My man D Free is in the building. What's good, D Free?
We are back. What's good, man?
We are back. Yo, we haven't done that in a minute, bro. Yeah, we back. You know what I'm saying? We Friday nights haven't been doing it that much. I'm trying to be come here and there and a little bit of something here, there, everywhere, whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, pumped up, man. Big fight tomorrow. I think it's all headlined with the biggest fight out of all the fights is obviously O'Shaquie Foster taking on Raymond Ford. That is the headliner of all the fights tomorrow night. Some other intriguing fights as well, but that's the main one. That's the one we're going to talk about. We'll talk about some other ones, but that's the main one. We got some special guests that may pop up and may show up to the live as well. I sent the link to a couple of current fighters and ex-fighters, so they may pull up, they may not, but if they don't, we're going to be here and rock on. I may put the link in the chat a little bit later, and for you guys to come up and maybe cook and make your predictions as well. So D Free, where do you want to lead off? We got MVP, we got Matchroom. I believe Biffle's fighting tomorrow also. I mean, where you want to lead off?
Hey, I mean, we could talk about the fights that went on earlier today and some that's going on later. Because we got Robeisy back in action.
No, that was big. I should have let you know this, and I should have made this a big thing. They canceled that fight. They canceled Robeisy's fight.
MJ still in action tonight?
Who?
MJ.
I'm lost. Who's that? MJ.
The one that just fought. He fought Monster. What's going on, Big Early?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that I don't know. I just know that the Robeisy fight got canceled because they wanted him to take an MRI, and then they were saying that it takes 3 days, and then they were giving him some runaround, and he went and got his own MRI, and they did it at the same day. He posted the results, said he was fine. He got he's okay to fight, but the WBC and the promotional, whoever's running the promotions, they declined the fight and they canceled it.
Wow. Hey, that's for Robeisy. So you got to wait a little bit longer to come back at you.
Yes.
But nevertheless, we still got some other fights. We got Vasquez versus Brown later on this evening.
Okay.
I'm waiting for that fight. Comes on at 8:00. Well, the card comes on at 8:00.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a nice little fight right there. Vasquez versus Brown. We got a lot of fights, but like you said, the Foster and Raymond Ford is the headline. They from what I've been hearing, the venue is just about sold out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's out down there in Houston, right? So good for them. That's really good for them. I know a few people that are going to be in the building. First things first, I forgot to shout out the people in the chat. My bad. I appreciate my man Eric Jordan in the chat. He puts it's the LDBC or nothing heavyweight. Salute to you, Eric Jordan. Appreciate you, man. Much love and appreciation, man. Definitely appreciate the super chat for sure. Man, Cash Crypto's in the building as well, man. Salute to you. Hope everything's well with you. My man Frontline is in the building. I gotta say que lo que to my Puerto Rican friend, because he always say I'm Dominican. But que lo que, Frontline, what's good with you? Salute, hope everything is well. My man Cam J is in the building. Says to my bro and D Free, hit the like button, show love. Appreciate you, Cam J, for pulling up. And who else is in the building real quick? My man Daniel Berry's in the building as well. He says, what's good? Happy Friday. And, Big Illy in the building, man. Salute to you. Hope everything's well with you. Appreciate you. And we have some other Tam 919 in the building. Salute. Hope everything is well with everybody. And I'll try to hit everybody up as they come through in the building and show their support. Put up, but we are going to drop the link later on for anybody who want to come up and talk that shit. And if my special guests arrive, meaning the pro fighters, if they do arrive, you got any questions for them, you guys can come up and speak to them directly as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's D Freeze on the panel, but it's a free show. It's a free show for you guys to come up and participate as well as we talk a little boxing today. You know what I mean? So
Hey, so did you wanna talk about the news that broke a couple of hours ago? The WBC ordered David Benavidez versus Noel, and we know that Noel was supposed to be finalizing his fight with Jao Obatai, so he got a decision that he's got to make. Either he's going to fight Jao Obatai for the Zuffa belt, or he's going to fight David Benavidez for the WBC belt, and that will be a unification match with David Benavidez.
Hey, let's get into it. Yeah, I just saw you just sent me the link, and I was just reading up on it. But yeah, it looks like the WBC is kind of taking a stand, and they're kind of anti Zuffa, and Zuffa's anti them. I get he was supposed to fight Jai Opataya. I believe he just beat Badu Jack, right? And
he beat Badu Jack to get the WBC belt.
Yeah, back-to-back fights with Badu Jack. He lost the first one in a very close fight. Some people thought he won that fight, but he lost a majority decision. And then he came back and cleaned it up a little bit. And it was I thought it was another close fight, but he did win and he got the unanimous nod. And he's now the WBC World Cruiser Champion. So yeah, pretty interesting to see. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I mean, what everybody really wants, and I don't know how they're going to make it happen if it happens, is Benavidez to fight, Jai Opataya. I think that's the fight that I think people want to see. But I'm still trying to understand the stance of Zuffa, right? I don't like Zuffa, but then I like Zuffa, right? The reason I don't like Zuffa is, I'm not a fan of Dana White. I don't like him. I think he's what goes in the bottom of your shoe. You know what I'm saying? I think he's scum. You know what I'm saying? But I like the concept of Zuffa and how they treat, the fighters and giving some fighters the opportunities that, they may have not gotten with other promotional companies or may not gotten at all because they're not getting signed to other promotional companies. So I like that aspect of Zuffa. And then, they're trying to sign the big names, put them on ring cards and stuff like that. So we're not sure what their stance is. It's like, are they going to work with the sanctioning bodies? Are they not? Are they trying to make the best fights? Or, so that's the big question. We really don't know.
Right. No, I'm right there with you. It seems like they want to have their own league, but they know that they're up against the traditional boxing league, and they got majority of the stars over there. So they want to play along as long as they have to, but once they get things on their terms, it seems like they might say, you know what, okay, we played along enough. We're going to do our own thing. And I think a lot of people is seeing what their ultimate goal is, and they're not falling for it.
Yeah, I think so. I honestly don't think Dana really knows what he wants to do yet. I think because he's gone back on a bunch of things he originally said before Zuffa even had their first card. So I don't even think they know. I think they're just kind of testing the waters. For me, how I'm treating Zuffa right now is I'm treating him just like any other regular promotional company. I'm treating them just as if they're Matchroom, just if they're Golden Boy, whatever. That's how I'm treating it for now. And they're just another promotional company that's putting up fights, and they're promoting fighters. That's how I'm treating it for now until we really get a sense of what they're gonna, pretty much do when they get these big stars or, big time athletes or fighters or big name fighters, let's call it that, and see what they're gonna do when they try to develop their own fighters into a star and how they're gonna, move them. So that's where I'm at with Zuffa right now. I'm here. I'm at the let's see. I don't trust Dana, but let's see what he does.
Yeah, and like the article said, this is a rare move because you don't usually see them order another champion to fight for unification. That means that the other sanctioning bodies was on board with it because that don't usually happen. When a guy is a champion, they usually are off limits to being ordered outside of the sanctioning body. So that means the WBO and the WBA was right along with them and said, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and unify these belts because it seemed like they're trying to get that belt over there with Zuffa, and we all know they they got some odds with Zuffa right now. They already stripped Ja Obata, so it's look like they got some odds with Zuffa. So I've never seen another champion. I mean, I'm quite sure it probably have happened, but I can't recall in recent history that another champion was ordered to fight another champion.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think, and it seems like it's like more of like a cutthroat, so that they don't even make, give the opportunity for David to even consider fighting Opataya. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's some games that's being played. I don't like, as much as I don't like Dana White, I have the same kind of hate relationship, or you want to call it, with Suleiman, right? I don't like the shenanigans he's pulled. Case in point, like what we just heard a little while ago with Ramirez, right? Robeisy was supposed to have his comeback fight today, and they canceled it. They wouldn't approve or sanction his fight, making him want to, get an MRI, which he proved that he was capable of fighting. So I'm not sure what the WBC is doing in that situation. But when it comes to Suleiman, I don't trust him at all. Giving opportunities to guys, giving them title fights after losses. It's just I can't with the guy. Plus, he kicked us off the radio. Off of WC. He kicked us off WBC TV. So that's another reason why. So.
Yeah, I mean, when he did that whole Usyk versus Rico this past weekend, I was like, hold up, this man hasn't fought in 12 years in pro boxing. He only got one fight, and you putting a title on the line? I'm like, I mean, like I said, I understand that he's a kickbox legend or whatever you want to call him, but that has nothing to do with the actual sport of boxing. This man had one professional fight, and they put him in a championship bout, and he hasn't boxed in 12 years. So we know Mauricio is going to do wherever the money leads him to do. So you can't really trust that Mauricio is going to hold true to what his rules are, because we've seen multiple times before that he doesn't. He'll bend the rule as long as the purse is paying him a good enough amount of money.
But yeah, and that's pretty much how most of the sanctioned bodies work when they give opportunities like that. But Suleiman makes it more obvious than others, right? So like he's willing to work with Turkey, and it looks like Turkey's bullying people and doing what he wants to do. As far as like we heard him after the fight, he cut Adja Caballel off. He didn't even want him to talk. He was already looking to get a rematch out there in the Netherlands, because I believe that's where that kickboxer. Rico Suave is from. He's from the Netherlands. So he's already trying to do a rematch, which is insane. How this guy skips the line. Yeah, he put up a good performance, and yeah, the referee was shaky in stopping that fight and not letting it go to the 12th round. I agree with that. But why should he get another opportunity in his hometown when you have guys that have earned their place to get a shot at the world title? It's insane.
Right, and that's why I say it doesn't make any sense for them to have a ranking system, because they don't follow the rules outside of the IBF. They don't follow the rules of the ranking system. I mean, you didn't see guys in the WBC, the WBO, the WBA, guys then skipped ahead of a number one contender, and you're like, hold on, how is he getting a shot when you got this guy that's the number one contender, and he's been sitting here waiting? We saw that happen with David Benavidez for over a year and a half when he was the number one contender for Canelo Alvarez. And they allowed Canelo Alvarez to fight somebody else as a mandatory instead of David Benavidez, who's the number one guy. So, I mean, it's nasty work. But at the same token, it's like it's a war going on in the sport of boxing. You're either going to be with Zuffa or you're going to be with the traditional boxing. Yeah. And they drawing the line. They said, okay, Ja Obata, you dropped the IBF belt. So right now you're not a champion in the sport of boxing. Yes, you're a champion in Zuffa. You have the Ring magazine, but a lot of people ain't looking at the Ring magazine belt the same way that they used to. So they're like, you're not a champion in the sport of boxing. You're going to either fight with Zuffa or you're going to have to come back over here and fight David Benavidez to get undisputed or get a unified title. We're not giving you no easy ground. Now, if they do go through with this WBC mandatory and this Noel fights David Benavidez, Jai Obata has no choice but to come over here and fight David Benavidez because he doesn't have the IBF, and it looks like they're not going to give it back to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to have to come on this side of the boxing field and make that fight. Even though he signed with Zuffa, they're going to have to say, okay, either. And that was the thing. When Jai Obata went over there, he said that they was going to allow him to be able to unify the belts and become undisputed. But the first opportunity that he got, the belt was taken away from him because they made it clear. You either fight for the IBF or the Zuffa belt. And Dana White wanted him to fight for the Zuffa belt.
Yeah, and that's insane. I think the Zuffa belt, it shouldn't be anything. I mean, the Zuffa belt is a made-up belt. Let's put it like that, right? They just came in, they're a new pretty much promotional company, a new company altogether, right? And they're making up a new title, right? The ring belt is what used to matter a lot. Now I don't know if it matters as much because back in the day, and we spoke to the commish Gordon a couple of times, and he told us how, because he used to be part of the ring magazine, and he was I think a main editor of the magazine at one point. He was in charge for like a couple years of it, and he told us how it used to work, where everybody used to mail in like their votes once a month, and it was all the sports writers, kind of like the way they do college football. It was something similar to that. They all mail in their rankings, and that's how they determine who would be, the number one, number two in the rankings, and for the ring belt. Now, I don't think they do that. I think it's totally whatever Turkey says, and the people that work for Turkey, I think they make the decision on that, and it's not what's the word? It's not. I'm trying to find a word here, but it's not done in a way where it's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they just pretty much gather around and say, this guy is ranked this way, this way, that way.
Yeah, they do
pound for pound.
They do it off of favoritism.
Yeah, pretty much favoritism. So, but back in the day, that's not how it used to work. You know what I'm saying? So like even the ring belt is not even as prestigious as it once was because of that. I think we should get Randy, the commish back on so he can explain a little bit more better than I can. But he definitely said that's how it used to be, back in the day. I know now it's, you don't email in votes. You could do emails and you could do texts and stuff like that, but this is like when he was doing it back in the day, I believe like in the early 90s or late 80s, you know what I'm saying? So, but, it's a sham now. So, and in the way Turkey's doing things, I saw an interview earlier today, with Nova, and I was going to talk about this later when we talked about Ford versus Shock. But Nova said that he was pretty much threatened to fight Raymond Ford in his last fight. He said that. He said, I was bullied to fight him because basically if I don't accept the fight, then Turkey would never work with me again, pretty much. And he took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. So if anybody gets a chance, go check out that interview that Supernova did with, I believe, Sean Zeitel or Zittel. I can't pronounce his name, so he did a nice interview pretty much breaking down, who he likes in the fight, Oshaki or Raymond Ford. But he definitely dropped that in the beginning of the interview talking about Turkey. So
yeah, he said he wasn't going to take the fight because, for one, it was a 2 weeks notice, and then Raymond Ford came in overweight. So he was like, I was going to say no, but they forced me to take the fight because he said at that time I can't give up any money. I mean, Turkey was doing business with the sport of boxing, and you don't want to miss out on a business deal. So I understood why he took the fight, because nobody want to miss out on a business deal, especially when at that time Turkey was giving out big bags. Now he's not doing that as much now, but at that time he was giving out big bags to these fighters to fight on the ring card. So I understood why he took the fight, but at the same token, he let me know that he believed like Oshaki is a better fighter. He got more skills. He said he had his way with Raymond Ford in the ring. He can do what he wants. He said with Oshaki, it wasn't that way. He had to basically come up with a strategy to be able to do what he needed to do.
Yeah, and then on top of that, he said he was more prepared for Oshaki, and it was still tough because he had I think he said he had an 8-week camp for Oshaki. So like that was already set in stone. And and I remember I believe that was Oshaki's first top rank card fight after he signed, and he made a voluntary defense because they had some history, him and Nova before that, where they wanted to fight and things didn't go through, and that's why Oshaki wanted that fight as his first voluntary. So, and that was a good fight because I thought, and I can't remember it. It was so long ago. I was there at that fight, and in that fight, I thought Nova did really, really well in the first half, but Oshaki took over the second half of the fight and pretty much dominated. Competitive, but dominated. And it was a split decision. I didn't agree with a split decision. I thought he won clean, unanimous, but split decision. There were a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans in the crowd that night. So obviously they reacted more to Nova's work than they did Oshaki Foster's work. So that might have persuaded that one judge, but nevertheless, both fights were competitive with Nova, but I thought Nova had his way, like he said, more than with Ford than he did with Oshaki.
Yeah. But so let's get into the cards. Let's get into these fights. What fight you want to go over first?
Let's go to the quick and easy one, just so we can mention it, because I don't even know if people know this is happening tomorrow. But Dimitri Bivol is back. He's fighting tomorrow. I don't know where this fight is. Somewhere in Russia, right? It says Ekaterinburg. I have no idea where that's at. I'm assuming that's somewhere in Russia. He's fighting this guy. He's fighting this German guy, Michael Eifert. I don't know anything about this guy at all. He's 13-1. He's got 5 KOs, 14 fights. And Dimitri Bivol, obviously, the last time we saw him was last February, where he won I believe a split decision versus Artur Beterbiev in that rematch. So what do you like in this fight? I mean, I'm glad to see Bivol is back, but he's fighting a nobody.
I'm gonna go with Demetrius Bivol. Yes, he hasn't fought in about 15 months, and he's coming off a back surgery or some type of medical thing with his back. But the problem with this fight is, yes, he's coming off a 15-month layoff, but his opponent hasn't fought since August 2024. So he's coming off a 2-year layoff just about. So it's like, okay, this is a toss-up. Who you think it would be more prepared in this fight? And I would have to go with Demetrius Bivol. I would think he's the better talent. Now, if Demetrius Bivol opponent was a guy that was more active, I would be a little worried about Demetrius Bivol in this fight. But a guy coming off a 2-year layoff and you getting in the ring with Demetrius Bivol, yes, granted he has back surgery, but I still believe he's good enough to fight, or they wouldn't have cleared him. So I don't think the back is going to be a problem for him.
Okay, and that's true. Yeah, he hasn't fought since 2024, August 24, and whatchamacallit, it's somewhere in Russia. It's the Russian Boxing Commission. Sounds like a Rocky movie, but Russian Boxing Commission, where in this fight, I don't know any of these guys on this card. I'm looking as a lot of Russians, so it's probably it looks like it's some type of tune-up fight for him, But I will say this: let me ask you the question. The guy did have a win over Jean Pasquale. Does that matter?
It mattered to. It would have, I should say, it would have mattered if he had stayed active and he could have built off that win. But fighting Pascal and then you turn around and you don't fight for like 2 years, whatever momentum you had building on that is gone now. You didn't let that pass you by.
So Shawa, who watches film on a lot of fighters, she says that Eifert is someone who fights domestic level competition. He doesn't sit on shots. He throws arm punches. So, and obviously, yeah, Pascal is a lot older. I don't even know why he's still fighting, but that was in 2023, I believe. But yeah, so I mean, I get it as long as he's coming off a surgery. It's almost like a tune-up fight. You want to see if you're okay. You're gonna fight this guy. He's got a nice record, 13-1. It's a kind of like a busy fight. It's a matter of what you do after that. So I guess I'm okay with it. Obviously, want to see him maybe fight Benavidez or even Jai Opetaia or even rematch Artur Beterbiev, right? So let's see what happens after this. If he wins, I'm expecting him to probably win, hopefully hit, by stoppage. And, you're only as good as your last win. So let's see what happens after this. And, but I wanted to mention that. I don't think a lot of people know that he's fighting. So
I will mention something that Cam had mentioned earlier. And it's something that a lot of people need to pay attention to. One, we got to see how Bivol looks in this fight, because even if he wins, but it was a hard fight for him, I don't think he gets in there with Arthur, and he definitely don't get in there with David Benavidez. But two, we got to remember that Callum Smith is right there to be called as the mandatory. So don't be surprised if Callum Smith is called as the mandatory for Demetrius Bivol.
Oh, that's such okay. I mean, I don't think I would want to see it, but
and we know that Demetrius Bivol, he works real close with Turkey. He's a Turkey guy as well, and Callum Smith is a Turkey guy. So don't be surprised if that's the next fight for Demetrius Bivol and not Arthur or David.
Okay, which is, I mean, it's like you said. It's see how he looks. You take a Callum Smith. To me, is a good contest. Is a good fight, competitive. But a fight that Dimitri is supposed to win, right? And but I hopefully if they do it, we don't wait like 6 months for it, right? That fight's got to be like in 3 months. 3 or maybe 3 or 4 months.
Shower crazy. She said, "No, I even might make the back injury reoccur."
Collins, all right. Well, he might have beat Morrell. He might have beat the Morrell we just seen.
Yeah, he should have took that fight because he probably would have won that fight.
Yeah. A lot of people are kind of down on Morrell, and rightfully so. But we have to also remember too is that he did win the first 8 rounds pretty much. He pretty much was dominating that fight, until the 9th round.
Yeah, I mean, he played around.
Exactly.
That's the cardinal sin when you're in the sport of boxing. You don't play with your food. You finish the whole plate and get it over with. There's no need. You don't get paid for overtime. There's no need to playing around with your opponent. If you can get him out of there, you get him out of there.
Yeah. Speaking of light heavyweights, the guy that I really want to see in action, we haven't seen him since like Fight of the Year candidate, Najee Lopez. That's the guy I want to see get there with the big name fighters. Najee Lopez, obviously, Boricua, right? I like my Puerto Rican fighters. He's in Atlanta right now, trains and works in Florida. Trained by Mark Ferret. But Najee Lopez is a guy I would love to see him in there with like a Bivol or or any of them light heavyweights. So, maybe a Buatsi, you know what I'm saying? So that's a guy I would love to see.
The only thing about Najee, I need him to work on his defense and work on his head movement.
Yeah.
He leaves his head on the line and he gets hit way too easy for my liking, especially fighting the upper level of light heavyweight. You get in there with a guy like Demetrius Bivol or a guy like Arthur or a guy like David Benavidez, and you getting hit easy, it's not gonna pay out well for you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he fought a guy in Gallego who's very competitive. We saw Gallego beat Khalil Cole, and then we saw Khalil Cole return and beat him. He's been there with competitive fights. I think he got a win. I believe he has a win over Kevin Newman as well. So, I mean, it's not like he fought a guy that, was a ham and egger, right? Like who Bivol's fighting tomorrow. He's fighting a ham and egger. He fought somebody competitive, but you're right. He's got to work on some things. And I think he's still learning. He's still learning. He's still young in the game.
Yeah. He's still young.
Yeah. So I'll go from there. I don't know if you want to talk about the other cards. I was thinking about heading over to the MVP card. I don't know if there's something you want to mention at any of the other fights.
No, I mean, whichever way you want to go, I'll follow suit.
Okay, so let's go to the MVP card. MVP's got a card. I believe they're fighting in Texas. I want to say El Paso, Texas, right? So it's a big fight. The main event, Stephanie Hahn, who I believe is from El Paso as well, right? Or in that area, and she's taking on Holly Holm. This is a rematch. They had a fight not so long ago where Stephanie Hahn won a technical decision. She pretty much was dominating the fight, right?
Yeah.
But it was a headbutt. They had to stop the fight. She still got the win. It went to the 7th round. Not sure why they're doing a rematch. I guess because of the headbutt. But I felt like she was dominating the fight. And guess what? I think she's going to dominate again. I think Holly Holm is from like New Mexico, which is not far away. So, so that it's a good fight for her. She's well known. She's a former champion, former, UFC champion as well. But I think she's a little bit too old now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know what she can do different to pull off the upset and to become, champion again.
Yeah, and that's my thing with this fight. I don't think the best years for Holly Holmes is behind her. The last fight we seen her in, she looked like a older fighter. She don't look like the same Holly Holmes that we used to see. So I got Stephanie winning this fight by unanimous decision. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be competitive the earlier rounds, but I don't think this fight will be close. I think she's going to win easily on the scorecards.
Yeah, I agree too. Yes, Shower. He was supposed to fight Beterbiev. They came close to fighting, and then I think Beterbiev pulled out of that fight, so that he was going to get that opportunity. I think that was kind of like a blessing in disguise. I mean, I don't know if he was quite ready for Beterbiev, right? Yet. I think he would have gave him a run for his money, but I don't know if he was quite ready. So maybe that might be a blessing in disguise. But yeah, he was. I believe it was early last year that they announced it was on, and then all of a sudden it kind of like Beterbiev went a different route. But yeah, I agree with you, D. Free. I don't think Holly has anything for Stephanie. Stephanie at the weigh-ins, they look good. Both of them, Stephanie looked really good. Stephanie's very active. I believe she's a sheriff or a police officer down there in El Paso. So, that's like her side job. She's kind of like you, D. Free. You know what I'm saying? You always active,
Yeah. You gotta stay busy.
So salute to Stephanie Hahn, and if she wins this fight, right? I wonder if there'd be a unification fight they could work up, because we know Alicia doesn't want to fight Caroline, right? From what we've been hearing, where she doesn't want to fight Caroline, but Caroline is a champion up there. She's ranked number 1 in BoxRec as far as in the lightweight division. Maybe both are MVP fighters. Maybe that's the next fight. I think that's a really good fight. Shame on Alicia not taking that fight, because I believe they could sell that fight and make a lot of money, right? Listen, Alicia, I was at Alicia's last fight. They probably had 2,500 in there. Fighting Caroline would get you bigger numbers. So, maybe if Stephanie wins, maybe Stephanie and Caroline Dubois can have a fight and make a trilogy out of that. What do you think about a possible fight between Stephanie Hahn and Caroline Dubois?
I like that fight. It's a unification fight, because I believe Stephanie Hahn is the is she the WBA or the WB?
I believe she's the WBA.
Okay, WBO champion. So that would be a unification. BA. So I like that fight. I mean, yeah. Anytime you can collect another belt for a young fighter that has goals to be undisputed, or at least make a name for themselves, it is always a good fight. And I don't think Stephanie Hahn is a bad fighter. I think she's a good fighter. I don't think she can deal with Caroline Dubois, but I think it'd be competitive.
Yeah, I agree. I think listen, I think Caroline is good. I think she's still learning some things. I don't think she's great. Listen, you guys gonna hate me, but I still have Alicia beating Caroline, right? I think Caroline is getting better, but I still have Alicia beating her. And I can see Alicia dropping Caroline, but that's for another day, because it looks like Caroline doesn't have the same. It looks like Alicia doesn't have the same belief or faith that I have in her as she does in herself, right? So to fight Caroline, that's what I believe. I think Stephanie can give Caroline a good fight, and I think they can make a trilogy out of it. I think I think Caroline is still learning and still getting better, but Stephanie is just as good. So I would love to see how she performs against Holly Holm and see if she could win, more impressively than she did in the last fight. And we'll see, because I believe Stephanie's a little bit taller as well. So I don't know. I don't know who I would pick in that fight. I don't think I'll be quick to pick Caroline. And oh, by the way, Caroline is the WBO and WBC champion, and Stephanie's the WBA. I'm not sure who has the IBF.
Yeah, I'm not sure who has the IBF neither.
Yeah, that I'm not sure, because but it'd be nice if Caroline could unify and maybe be undisputed. You know what I'm saying, as well. So, but that's what I'm looking for. I want to see Han fight Caroline, if or let's put it the other way. I want to see Caroline fight Han if Caroline can't get Alicia in the ring, right? Because I want to see her fight more tougher opposition, as well. She had a tough fight with Harper, and she won unanimous decision. She won clean. I thought Harper did some things and made her work a little bit, as well as when she fought Shin in the fight before that. So Caroline is getting better. She's young. She's 25. Stephanie is 35.
Yeah, so, Stephanie got about 2 inches. Stephanie is 5'7.5". Caroline is 5'5.5".
Yeah, and we don't know how much more she has in the tank also. So that's another thing. She's 35 years old, and Caroline is still young and in her prime, and probably haven't hit her prime just yet.
Yes, Caroline is 25. So yeah, she's a young lad in the sport of boxing right now.
Yeah. So hold on, let me see. So on the card as well, we have Amanda Serrano is back, and for the first time in a while, she's not the headline. She's not the main event. So Amanda Serrano, she's taking on I believe this girl's from Germany, Cheyenne Hansen, 17-2. Amanda Serrano, 48-4-1. Who you got and why? And I'll add another one to this. What are you expecting to see from Amanda Serrano in this fight?
I got Amanda Serrano, of course. Amanda Serrano is a much more experienced than this lady. I've seen this lady fight, I think, like once or twice, and she really doesn't have much. She's a decent boxer for a woman, but when you went there with a lady like Amanda Serrano, you can't be decent. You got to be good, because Amanda Serrano is not a typical female boxer. I got Amanda Serrano stopping her within 5 rounds. I don't think this going to last. I don't think this fight going to last long at all. What's going on, Cam? I don't think this fight going to last long at all. I think Amanda Serrano going to stop her within 5 rounds. If you go watch this young lady fight, you're going to understand why I said that. Because you've seen Amanda Serrano fight many times before. Go watch this young lady fight. You're going to see, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't see this fight going long.
5 rounds. Wow. So let me double check something here. I'm not sure. Are they doing 3-minute or 2-minute rounds?
I think it's 2 minutes. I think
2-minute rounds. So it's going back. So the pace will be a little bit quicker. So, wow, 5 rounds. I don't think this girl's ever been stopped either in the 2 losses. I like Amanda Serrano. I like her to win big here. Her last fight, I thought she took way too many punches. She that trilogy with Katie Taylor took a lot out of her. She's getting up there in age. I still like her to come in. She looked good at the weigh-in today. But it's something, I don't know if it's because I'm just worried for her and I'm afraid of seeing her lose, or I don't know, with Amanda. I think it's time she calls it quits, but she wants to keep on fighting. I think she should dominate this girl, but I don't see a stoppage here. I don't. It'd be nice to see a stoppage. You said stoppage in 5 rounds. Wow.
Amanda Serrano got the height and the reach advantage over this lady.
Wow, 5 rounds. I'm just I don't see it. I mean, it could happen, but I don't see it. It's just the way her last fight, she got hit a lot in that last fight. And she fought a girl. She fought a girl in the last fight that's probably worse than the girl she's fighting now.
Yeah, she got hit a lot. I'm just telling you. I got Amanda Serrano stopping this girl within 5 rounds.
I feel like she's slurring her words.
I could be wrong. It could be a little bit longer than 5 rounds, but Amanda Serrano gonna get the stoppage.
Get the stop. I mean, I would love to see it. But I want to see it, and I want her to retire. I really do. I think she took a lot of punishment, unnecessary punishment, especially in that second fight. I thought they should have stopped the fight. They stopped the fight. She wins for sure, right? Because she was dominating that fight before the cut. And then maybe the third fight doesn't happen, or who knows, but the third fight they fought totally different. She tried to box Katie Taylor, and I felt like she didn't want to take any more punishment. I don't know. I like Amanda Serrano to win a unanimous decision. Maybe she drops her once, but I don't see a stoppage. I don't.
And does Amanda Serrano go down in weight? Because this is at 125.
No, it's featherweight. This is where she was at. Remember, she went up to fight Katie Taylor.
I mean, 126.
Yeah, it's a featherweight.
I thought she went down. I thought she was at 130.
No, she went up to fight Katie Taylor, but she's a featherweight. Yeah. Okay. And then the third fight, I believe it went up to I think that fight was at 140, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It was Amanda that was daring to be great.
Amanda Serrano, she fought at Katie Taylor at 135, and then she fought Katie Taylor at 140. The first fight was at 140. The second fight was at 135.
Yeah.
Then she fought Stephen Morgan at this says 136. So that was the fight that she moved up because Ramos, she fought at 125. Well, 126.
Okay. Salute to everybody in the building. I'll try to shout you out as we go along. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop the link in 1 minute, and then we could cook on the Raymond Ford and Oshaki fight. I was waiting for some guests to arrive, but it looks like they're not going to make it. Salute to Convos with Cam on the $10 super chat. I appreciate you. She says, peace and blessings to both of you. Definitely appreciate the super chat. Much love and blessings to you as well, Cam. Bless you. So let me drop the link now as we wait. I think Pedro is going to try to come in as well. So we're going to get some good laughs with Pedro.
Pedro going to have us dying.
Well, frontline asked for it, so I had to do it. I really did.
Did he point it at you? He didn't have to.
So I was like, you know what? He likes Pedro's up. Holy. So I dropped the link in the chat. Hopefully it should drop in your stream as well, D3. So and of course, right away, the first guy that comes up in here is Mr. Marky Dan. Salute to you, Marky Dan. How are you, my friend?
What's good? Salute to Pastrami, all right, Captain.
I can't get your audio.
I'm talking.
Okay, talk.
You can't hear me?
I hear you now.
Yeah, I was just saying salute to the Pastrami, all right, Captain, a.k.a. Chopped Cheese Boy Tom. Great guy up here, man. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. You already know what to do, man. It's Sports Talk Network. We got Old Man Frilio, a.k.a. D. Frilio, a.k.a. Detective Free. Salute to him. I appreciate you guys. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank God it's Friday.
I appreciate you coming up as well. If you want, before we get to the main event, I think those are the only 2 fights worth mentioning. But if you want to talk about, Stephanie Hahn and Holly Holm, and you had some words because you're a Caroline Dubois fan, you could talk about that, and you could talk about Amanda Serrano and her fight as well. Before we continue.
Well, I don't know much about Stephanie Hahn. I'll be honest. Just by the name, she sounds like she's Chinese or from one of them Asian countries. Am I correct?
Really?
Or is she from the West Coast?
No, she's from El Paso. She's from El Paso, Texas.
Really?
Yeah, she's actually a police officer also.
Well, You see that's what I'm saying. I don't know nothing about this young lady. I just was going off the name how it sounded, but I'm rooting for Holly Holm. I'm a huge Holly Holm fan. I love MMA. I love UFC. I think she's been a huge boon to combat sports for years, violently putting Ronda Rousey to bad the way she did with that head kick. I mean, beating her to death. I mean, it was just great to watch. So, and then we obviously know she had a Hall of Fame boxing career before she came over to mixed martial arts. So, I just think it would be great to see her continue this great streak and this great run she's been on for multiple decades. Going there and win a championship at 40 plus years old. I think that would be a great look. But I'm not rooting against Stephanie. I don't really know her, so I got no problems with her. And then Amanda Serrano, I mean, I keep hearing like Amanda Serrano is retiring or that she's going to announce retirement, and then boom, she got another fight. So I really don't know what to make of it. I think she had a couple other fights after the Katie Taylor outclassing, right?
Yeah, she believes she had 2 fights after that.
She had
Yeah.
no,
So
she had
I
one.
don't.
She had one fight. She had
It was one fight,
yeah.
the last fight,
Yeah.
then the last fight where she fought, and I think the first one that she fought, because she was originally supposed to fight somebody else, and then she popped dirty. I can't get her name off the top of my head, and that this girl was a substitution, like a replacement fighter. I don't know how many weeks she had to prepare, but she was originally supposed to fight. I can't remember her name, and she popped dirty, and I believe she already had fought her, so it's supposed to be some sort of rematch.
Yeah, and we got to remember she was. I think Maki is thinking about the fact that Amanda Serrano was supposed to have a fight in Puerto Rico, but she had that stuff go in her eyes, and she couldn't see. So it irritated her eyes, so she couldn't see. So they end up canceling that fight. That was on the Jake Paul card. She was supposed to when Jake Paul had that fight in Puerto Rico. She was supposed to be the co-main.
Yeah, but I expect Amanda Serrano to do what Amanda Serrano does. I mean, she's at probably. Well, I don't know if it's a much more comfortable weight class or just I don't know. Maybe she's bigger at featherweight. So yeah, I expect her to put hands on this girl, whoever she is. I don't know the names. I'm not trying to pretend like I do.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I think it was. I want to say Erica Cruz was she was supposed to fight because she fought her already, and I think she had popped dirty. She had popped for some substance, and she had to pull out the fight. They didn't let her fight, and then as Shawa just said, she fought Reina Tellez, and it was on 2 weeks notice. So and then with that 2 weeks notice, she actually gave a good showing against Amanda. Amanda won, but she was landing easy against Amanda as well. So yeah, Erica Cruz. Thank you, Shawa. Erica Cruz. So yeah, she had.
What I want to know is when is Fedora's sister gonna show some lady nuts and move up to 120? Yeah, to move up to one of them weight classes where you really got names.
Yeah,
because I heard she's planning to move down. Now, if she fight that Japanese girl that fought on the Giza Pyramids card, I wouldn't be mad at that. That girl is a real tough out. At least from what I've
she's
seen.
good.
Like, yeah,
she fights. I think at the next weight class, if I'm not mistaken. So she's she fights at a bigger weight than Gabrielle, but I think it's the next weight class. I think I'm not.
I
too
thought
sure.
she was one weight under Gabrielle. That's crazy.
Really? Or maybe I'm wrong. You might be right.
You talking about the one that fought last week?
Yeah,
that she used to be with
Hiroto.
Yeah, she used to be with 360 Promotions.
Oh yeah, that was the one that fought last week. I forgot what weight that was. I forgot what.
I think it was Superfly. I think it was 115.
Because those girls was putting hands on each other. I forgot which weight that was though.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up now. I thought she was a weight above her, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's a weight.
Yeah, for Hideki Shaw. Yeah, that's her name.
I know she was on 360 Promote. No, she's Hirota, right? She's a weight above her. She's a Superfly. So that's like what, like 5 pounds?
Yeah, because she fights Frendora fights at 112 right now. She's
so then she might fight at 115 because it's not much weight, but she definitely she's super fly, and Gabriel's flyweight, so it's only a few pounds.
So
I believe it's 3 pounds difference. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 3 pounds.
That is correct.
It's a 3 pound difference. It's a 3 pound difference.
So she should
Gabriel need to move up there and get that Japanese bag. You know what they say? When you go to Tokyo, you get the dough.
Yeah, but she's been fighting. She's been fighting a lot in the United States.
I mean, listen. I'm just telling you what they say. Chop cheese, Tommy.
No, I understand what you're saying. She's from Japan, but she's fought like that was in Egypt, right? But she's been fighting in the United States. I'm looking at it right now because I remember she was with 360 Promotions. Shows her last 4 fights before that were in the United States at the over there in California.
Yeah.
Salute to Clarence McLean.
Yeah, she's been fighting in the U.S. As of late.
Yeah.
The only problem with that, I don't think she beats Vendor. I saw what her opponent did, and her opponent doesn't have power like that because she caught her with a clean shot. I was like, oh, if that's Gabrielle Fundora beats her badly. That girl, she leaves her face wide open when she throwing her hook, when she throwing her jab. She leaves her face wide open.
I mean, that's good though, Free. That's good. If she get beat to death, it's good for me. I mean, it might be bad for her. It might make her cry, but it'll probably make me happy. It don't hurt me, respectfully.
But you know what? I agree. I think Fundora beats her, and maybe she might even stop her, right? Because Fundora is kind of like a cheat code. But it would give her more relevancy, like because that would be a good name on her resume. She's not really fighting anybody in her division.
What's going on, Tai?
Salute to Shawalaya. I don't talk to you much anymore, Shawalaya. I miss you.
Miss you too, Marky.
What's good, Shawa? How's everything?
I'm hanging. How you?
I don't know if that was a sincere "I miss you too, Marky," but I don't know, man. But I don't blame you because
yes,
Marky
I miss the baby kid. I do.
Wow.
What you got for us, Shawa? How's everything?
Oh, everything is everything, man. I'm just ready for this weekend boxing.
You had any graduations, Shawalaya? You had any graduations?
No. Everybody's out of school or too young to graduate in my family and friends.
All right.
But no. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this weekend. And who was y'all just talking about? Han? Or y'all was talking about Gabby.
We were talking about Mizuka Hirota
MVP card. You know, so I mean,
and Gabby Fundora growing the lady nuts to move up and fight Miss Hirota for her title.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you know, Marky be speaking crazy. Queen 71 loves it, getting beat to death.
I know.
The BBO. That's BBO.
The one y'all were talking about, Han and Holm. Ooh. That one. I don't think Han is all that. She's better than Holly Holm, but I don't know. Holly Holm was just really flat in their first fight.
Yeah.
Kind of unordinarily flat. I don't know what the hell is going on with Holly, but I think Stephanie's gonna definitely whoop her. But Holly should come and give a better showing because she was really down on herself behind that.
If Holly goes in there and puts Stephanie Hahn to bed, or just beats Stephanie Hahn, do you think Caroline Dubois could get that fight? You know what I'm saying? It's not a pay-per-view, box office hit, but I'm just saying it's a really good name, really well-known name, and it might push Alicia Baumgartner to get in the ring and fight her. Instead of going around and talking about I need this and I need that, and she ain't got no name or who she fought.
She ain't gonna do that because Caroline's gonna be right there, and that everybody expects that to be first if Alicia moves up.
Yeah,
well, Chop Cheese. Tommy don't expect it. Chop Cheese.
I don't expect Alicia to take the fight.
Yeah, she expect her to duck and go to 140.
She's not gonna take.
I think like Alicia is at 130, and she's asking to get a fight with Amanda Serrano, who's at 126. She's asking to get a fight with Katie Taylor, who's at 140. She's asking to get a fight everywhere except for 135.
Yeah, she asked to Tiara Brown at 126.
She dogged Tiara, man.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah.
That just made me kind of turn on
She's
Alicia
looking to get a
altogether.
fight everywhere except for 135. So I don't unless Caroline. Well, I can't even say that because Caroline Dubois is a unified champion and she still won't fight him.
I'm gonna tell y'all why. I mean, the last time I was up here, you remember Shawaliya, I told you that I had a connection back in the mother country, back in the old country, who told me that she had looked into the omens and that Dubois had powers protecting him. That applies to that sister as well. So let her go and mess around and get in there with Caroline Dubois and see what happens to her. That's what it's all about. And I don't blame Alicia. She a pretty young woman. What, like 32 years old? She still got a career long after boxing in some other industries.
Maybe the ancestors will come up and through Caroline or something because I'm with TD right about now. Based on her past 2 fights, and she claimed she was sick, Caroline just didn't really perform up to snuff. Like, and AB's kind of on the up trajectory as far as her performances since she's been with Derek. So I don't know.
Yeah. And here's another thing is that was she really sick or is she gonna keep saying that because she got 2 wins. She said she was sick against Shin as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You think she lied?
I don't think she's lying. I am a Caroline fan. I don't really care for AB like that, but I can't lie. AB's been looking good. Caroline has not.
You know who else was looking pretty good, and you know who else looked pretty bad in the fight before?
No,
Daniel Dubois. He got put violently to bed by Usyk, and Fabio Morley was the guy putting guys straight to sleep.
I agree.
And look what happened there. Yeah.
I love Triple. Yeah. Don't even get it twisted.
Well, let me throw out one more thing as far as Holly Holm. We was just saying that Stephanie Hahn is 35. Well, Holly Holm is 44. So I don't know if she could do any better than what she did the last fight against Stephanie in this fight.
So, up there.
44 years old. She has a lot of miles. Like this is not a, like Stephanie has been competing, but she hasn't really been competing like a Holly Holm in 2 sports. She has a lot of miles and she's 44. She's got a lot of wear and tear. So I don't expect her to do anything much better than what she did the last
Well,
fight.
I'm going to ask you a question, Chop Cheese Tommy. And it's a question I ask the Frilio all the time. Have you ever heard about the greatest story ever told? It's called a 45-year-old George Foreman putting Michael Moore to sleep.
Oh, God.
Okay. Holly Holm ain't too far away from that age, but I'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
Hey, I'll put it this way, Marky. I'll make it a little easy for you and everybody in the chat, everybody watching. The only chance Holly Holm has, if they say it's okay for her to kick, and maybe she could get a kick in like she did against Ronda Rousey.
Well,
other than that, she has no chance.
If she could throw some elbows if she could throw some elbows like Benavidez, I think she got a chance.
That story, Marky Dan, is when George Foreman came back at 45, he didn't look old. Holly Holmes looked old.
She
did.
She looked old. George Foreman didn't look old. So there's a difference.
George Foreman got beat to death. He got beat to death by Holyfield.
After how many fights he fought? After how many fights?
Like 25 or 30, like something like that.
I'm talking about since when he came back.
Yeah. He fought a lot of bums. He went on a bum bashing tour.
Yeah, so you talking about he came back and won the title at 45 years old. He put all of those fights under his belt after he already had a career before. He still didn't look old, and he got beat by who?
Holy, yeah. Listen, I'm just saying it would be great if Holly Holm could get it done. I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying it'd be a great goddamn story. At least I think so. I mean, that'd be a great story.
All Holly need to do is let her hands go. The fight before Han, she fought a Hispanic lady, Vega. She let her hands go. I don't know what it was about Han. It's like she was just holding back. If she would actually punch this girl, she ain't gonna win, I don't think, but because Stephanie actually got IQ.
Well,
I ain't gonna say Holly don't, but Holly only goes 1-2.
Hey,
We got a 1-2.
hey, Tay says she's 47. She don't look as old as Holly Holm. I'm 50. I don't look as old as Holly Holm. I'm 50, and I don't look as old as she look. That young lady. Well, I ain't gonna say young lady. That lady.
That old lady.
I can't say young lady. She's 44. That lady. She's old.
I must be a geezer.
She said that young girl. No, that lady. I can't even say young lady.
I can't say. I mean, you 44 years old. You can't call them young ladies anymore. You gotta call them a lady.
Frontline. I don't know what page was at. He said he was coming up. I'll send him a text in a minute. And none of the guests I sent links to they came up yet, and that's including Socrates. I don't know where he's at as well. And the reason why we did it this time was because of Socrates, and it never fails. So hopefully he could show up. But I'll send the link. But let's go to the main event. Let's go to the fight everybody's talking about. The card is some good prospects on the card, but nothing special on this card. As I look through it, you know, Amari Jones.
They couldn't get
Ammo
Ammo Williams. They couldn't get Ammo Williams to fight in his home. This ain't in Houston, ain't it?
Well, he just lost. It's in Houston. Yeah, so we got.
I mean, the women. Sorry,
that's a shame.
Omari Jones is on the card. He's fighting this guy Diego Zuniga, who's undefeated. You know, I guess prospect as well. Is 9-0. Zach Quinn Moses is on the card as well.
Real quick, Thomas.
Yeah,
that's the connect right here. Seafood. That's the connect. Remember, I was talking to you. I said I'm trying to get somebody on the panel. That's the connect. He got a real close personal relationship with that camp.
With Moses?
No. With Serrano.
Oh, okay. I see Seafood. Salute to you, Seafood. Salute, bro.
Yeah, salute.
The link is in the chat. If y'all want to come up and talk about these fights, you know, we're gonna go into the to the big fight. You know, that's where we're on now, which is Oshaki Foster against Raymond Ford. And I'm just looking at the card. The card's done special as a showcase for some prospects as well. You know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, Zaquin Moses is on the card. You know, I believe he's coming off of an injury. So, you know, he's back in action. Omari Jones, who I like a lot, he's on the card as well. But nothing too special. It's pretty much top heavy with one big fight, and that's the main fight. The question is, right, before you guys make your prediction is, everybody's saying this is a 50-50 fight. My question to everybody in the panel before making your prediction, is it really a 50-50 fight?
No. Logically, it should probably, it's more realistically like 60-40 because Oshaki Foster, even though Raymond Ford is talented and he has a lot of attributes, he has speed, he has power. Oshaki Foster has speed. Also, he has great timing. He has great power. He's bigger than Raymond Ford. He's been at that weight longer. And he's fought a lot of established guys. I mean, he fought Conceição. He beat Ray Vargas, gave Ray Vargas his first loss. Beat Rocky Hernandez at Rocky Hernandez's hometown. Beat Abraham Nova with an actual training camp. Did he fight Manuel Navarrete?
No, Conceição fought Navarrete. You know,
okay.
So that's what makes his resume even better because he had 24 rounds with Conceição, a guy that, you know, it was a draw against Navarrete. He held his own.
And he beat Scooter, which, I mean, you can say whatever you want. Maybe Scooter wasn't motivated. Maybe Scooter is past it. He's done with the sport. To miss weight when you move it up for a championship, I've never seen nothing like that in my entire life. But still, he beat Scooter. Put hands on that guy. So,
good afternoon.
What's good? Salute.
I'm so used to being on the morning. How you doing, everybody?
Chilling, bro, man. How you been?
I've been busy, bro. I'm surprised I'm even home right now because guys didn't show up in the gym today for us to do our spar wars. So I kind of glad that I can just be home today and just chill out.
Okay.
Thank you for having me up, though. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I've seen you a lot, especially on Clarence's. I've seen you on Clarence's panel a bunch of times. You know
thank you.
Yeah. So
D3 knows I'm about to start some controversy. So what y'all talking about now?
Whatever you
Speak
want
the
to, you
facts.
can start.
Speak
We
the
were going to talk
facts.
about Oshaki Ford and Raymond Ford, but if you got something, you could present it now before we get into it.
Actually, I do. I don't. I want to mind. I don't mind talking about Osaki. I really want Raymond Ford to win, but after the push, I don't think. I think Oshaki's gonna kill him because Raymond didn't
Damn.
do nothing to get back at the dude. Like literally nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
think he was getting held. I think he was getting held.
How about no? He
Okay. Okay.
he wasn't getting held back because
My opinion.
if you really look at it, when the guy get if you really want to get at somebody, you get at them. There's nobody gonna hold you back, security or not, unless he has a really firm grip on you. And he didn't have a firm grip on him for him to jump back. So to me, I'm thinking this dude, this guy, Raymond is a little soft.
Well, it could be that Eddie Hearn told him to do that. It's been reported 7,000 tickets has been sold. Maybe they trying to get to 10,000 before they start giving the tickets out like candy.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's what it could be.
But
Yeah, I've
it
heard that
also
before.
it also was a retaliation because Oshaki pushed him at the
Yeah,
before
yeah.
that, like so the day
Yeah,
before.
that's the one I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the second one. I'm talking about when Oshaki did it to him, and then whatever. Then he waits till he gets close to him, and he pushes him. Then he pushes him. I thought that was a sucker move, bro. Anybody who knows boxing, and if you're a street guy, you should know nothing is holding you back from getting at somebody, bro.
Yeah,
We gonna have some,
you're
Yeah.
right.
You remember
we gonna have some
Isaiah
tussling.
Stewart? Isaiah
Hmm.
Stewart for the
Yeah.
Pistons? You
Yes.
remember when LeBron busted him open and
Yeah.
he ran through about a dozen niggas to get to
Yeah.
LeBron?
Sometimes say, man, these guys are
So
trained
I hear what you're
athletes.
saying, even though that's a 6'9", 250-pound nigga.
Size don't matter when you fighting, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
You already know.
You know what? You're right. You're right. Because I talk about it all the time. If he really had the nuts, he would have
Yeah.
got through them.
Salute to Jannard Hill. He says when you have time, check out the Nova breakdown of Oshaki and Ray Ford on Fight Hype. He breaks down power and skill set. Nova fought both of them. He broke it down really good. Yeah, I spoke about that.
Scan her own ID.
Yeah, we spoke about that early on before.
On the phone for
Yo, Big Dog, you got to
Big
go on
Dog
mute.
Willie.
Yeah.
I put
We
him on
spoke
mute.
about that a little bit early on. I saw it. It was really good by Nova. He dropped a lot of gems in that fight as well. So in that interview as well.
Yeah, that was on
Sorry
Sean
about
Zettel, too. I don't know if Fight Hype had one, but Sean Zettel for sure.
It was Sean Zeitel, not Fight Hype. Sean Zeitel. Unless he did a separate one with Fight Hype. But it was Sean Zeitel that did the interview. It was really good. It was really good. I was at I real quick before Big Dog goes in. I was at the Oshaki versus Nova fight. That was a good fight, competitive fight. I thought Oshaki dominated the second half of the fight. He scored a knockdown in the last round, which was really a trip. But I thought he should have got credit for a knockdown in round 9. I mean, round 11, the round before. But very competitive fight. And then when he fought Ford, he was on a two week notice. And Ford came in like a half a pound to a pound overweight, and he looked very sluggish. And I thought that fight was much closer than what everybody had it. I thought maybe Nova might have pulled it off.
I think it was
had his
close
proof
too.
some decisions.
I didn't think so.
I'm glad Nova lost. That beard coloring was killing me, bro. That was definitely like messing up the coloration on the screen of the TV, bro. I'm telling you.
And he like a Dominican or a Cuban or a Puerto Rican in one of them baseball cultures.
He's Puerto Rican. He's Dominican, but he was born in Puerto Rico.
No, but I said baseball cultures. That's what they like to do.
Oh, no, that's hilarious.
They beards and they hair.
The Puerto Ricans,
I'm serious. No, I'm not even trying to be funny. That's what it is.
Yo, that's hilarious. That's
Puerto Ricans do that.
They look like a bunch of fruits to me.
What
But
up, McLean?
Two baseball classics ago, they started that.
No, but look, if you really think about it, right? When it comes to like a guy like Oshaki Fuzzy, he does have good fundamentals. Very, very basic guy. Doesn't do anything really spectacular. But even when he fought Cool Boy, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Akin Barak show where they interviewed Cool Boy. Now, based on what he was telling me, what he went through to drop weight, it kind of makes sense why Cool Boy looked the way he looked. You know what I'm saying? being a fighter myself, a lot of guys do wait Bully to go down to go back up again, which is actually the smart thing to do in terms of being dominant in weight classes. But after a while, your body can't really take all that type of pressure. Jumping up and jumping down. But I do want to see because I think it will be a very action-packed fight. If Shaki beats him, he's still not going to get Shakur though. And plus, I think the only one that's going to give Shakur problems will be Raymond Montarayo. Murtai. I think that's the only guy that's going to give Shakur some issues, bro.
I don't even think Murtai got enough pressure for Shakur.
I don't think so. I agree with you to an extent, but he does throw a lot of punches.
He does.
I mean, but Willie,
you know the vibe that I'm starting to
Willie
get?
Boy Zepeda threw a lot of punches, though.
I'm starting to get a little bit of the Lamont Roach versus Tank Davis vibe between O'Shaquie and Shakur. Because O'Shaquie he sparred with Shakur for a while. They've known each other for a long time. So I'm starting to get a little bit of that vibe. Maybe he knows how Shakur fights, and it can be a difficult fight for Shakur. I think Shakur still will ultimately win, but I think it can be a difficult fight for Shakur because O'Shaquie knows Shakur well. That's the vibe that I'm getting.
Yeah.
I just think Shakur is a different level of talent from the rest of these guys, and it's gonna take like an event like maybe he break his hand, or you find somebody who has really good footwork who could get him into those positions enough that they might crack his chin. Outside of that, I just don't see anybody beating Shakur until he reaches 47.
I'd like to see Shakur and Dom Smith, but Shakur, he's funny style.
I mean, yeah. He's a bit of a nutless. He's a bit of a nutless coward. He's Puerto Rican. But it is what it is.
This guy is unbelievable. Big Dog Willie, what you got for us, man?
Big Dog Willie.
What's cracking? I hear all you guys haters up here, but it's cool. Hating on Shakur for no odd reason.
Facts.
I don't understand how you guys don't think Shakur is like. Anyway, O'Shaquie every fight Shakur, he's gonna get washed. I don't know why people think he's all this great dude because he beat up who did he beat up? Cool Boy. Not like Cool Boy didn't get stomped out by anyway, but that's a whole different story. But Shakur, Ford and O'Shaquie. I want O'Shaquie to win so Shakur can whoop his ass. But I think it's like a 45-55 fight Shockway. I think Shock might be have better IQ, and I don't see that much difference in athleticism. Only thing I have Ford in is his hand speed, but that's about it. Shock's defense is better footwork, just a better all around boxer, except for the speed part. That's all I got. To say about that.
You think somebody might go to bed? You think somebody might go to bed?
No, hell no.
No, I don't think so either.
Boys don't have power like that.
No, nobody's going to bed. Nobody's going to bed in that fight. Unless somebody gets lucky.
Raymond Ford didn't have no power. He stopped that last dude to get his title.
Come on, man. This is a different.
He got 8 knockouts. He got 8 knockouts.
There's been 5 fights for both.
And like 15, 16 fights. And like
that man got 20 fights. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Well,
it's a different caliber opponent too. This is a different caliber opponent. This is a whole different.
We saw Jaime Munguia, a guy.
That's a completely different weight class, man. That's a whole.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, a French painter with like 4 knockouts on his record.
But you got
It's a different weight class, man.
I'm glad he brought that up. Because you got Jaime Munguia moving to a bigger weight class, not the other way around. That dude was a 168-pound fighter. Jaime Munguia moved up to that weight class, and he
Saras moved up. Saras moved up to fight Jaime.
The Frenchman?
Saras moved up to fight Jaime.
Yeah, shower, yeah.
Standing there right hood.
Don't know the dude from a can of paint.
Yo, you know what?
That's what he worked with.
If you really think about it, Shakur really don't have to fight O'Shaquie Foster because honestly, even if he is a champion, he still didn't prove himself to be on that caliber.
I want Shock to fight. I want them to fight. So Shakur can shut his ass up. This guy been running his mouth for a long time. I want that fight to happen. That's why I want O'Shaquie to win.
The one that
he was
mandatory the whole time he was at 130. He was Shakur's mandatory.
And Shakur took off and fought Casasio.
Yeah.
Well, Shakur.
But didn't Casasio beat Shock?
No,
yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah. So let's not use that as an excuse.
Come on, Big Dog. That's low. That was
still,
he didn't win that fight.
No,
why are y'all making excuses for him not to fight
O'Shaquie? He got to.
How come y'all don't give O'Shaquie?
That man got stripped. For you, Diggy.
What was he fighting?
I think you guys him beating Cool Boy is not that special. I don't know why you guys keep it's that special.
I never thought it was special. Cool Boy comes from a lower weight class anyway. And look, just because O'Shaquie Foster used to spar against Shakur does not mean he's going to beat him. He probably is familiar with some of his tactics, but it don't mean he's going to beat him, bro.
But we got.
And he was struggling. He struggled.
Respond to Big Dog.
Shakur washed Casasio, and that Mexican dude that was giving Shock all those problems. No, come on, man.
Who, Hernandez?
Listen, the only one I feel
he beat guys like Angelo Leo, Brandon Figueroa, 2 current title holders at 126 pounds.
But you gotta
dominated Danny Roman, former unified champ.
Yo, my man, the man that just said something about Inoue.
Silk sheets like Hagler talked about. You know,
you get one loss and then everybody's like you trash and
Listen, everybody that was beat up by Inoue is because Inoue was on steroids.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
I'm trying to tell you the truth, bro.
Bunch of lion capping punks.
Yo,
put hands on.
Listen, Inoue can fight, right? Inoue can fight. But their coaches.
You said the man on drugs.
No, but that doesn't give you skill. It doesn't give you skill. I'm just saying he wasn't there. He can actually fight, but he was on steroids, and his people say that it's legal in his country. It's legal in his country. Do the research.
And we know he be double
People,
stacking too.
people.
Come on, he be double
That man
stacking.
was randomly drug tested.
What
they were
is that what you believe? Come on, bro.
Hell yeah. That's what Cool Boy said. And what they were mad about was Wahid said he didn't like the gloves and the wrapping and whatever.
Tell him double stacking.
And cool, and what Monster Inoue did, Monster Inoue said, fine, I'll wrap my hands how you want me to. And Wahid confirmed it. Y'all boys like to make excuses not to give the Chinaman, the Japanese man, his credit.
The Captain America serum was already in him, bro. He can represent 1,000 yards in front of him.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
C4, I'm very disappointed in you right now.
The Super Soldier serum was already in him, bro. He got his ass wrapped.
But listen, C4, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
I know we're going to go into Shockey versus Ford, but we're on Shakur and O'Shaquie. You've been in, you work with a lot of fighters. You've been in the gym. Do you think that the work that O'Shaquie had with Shakur gives him some sort of confidence and maybe a little bit of advantage, that he can possibly beat Shakur, and that's why, maybe Shakur doesn't want to fight because of maybe those sparring sessions and the work they had in the gym?
Yes, I do think that gives him confidence. If you're really know in the history of boxing, a lot of fighters try to avoid their sparring partners, but wind up having to fight them anyway. Case in point, Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, George, what's the name?
Jimmy Young, Larry Holmes.
Kenny Norton. You got to think of things of that caliber, right? But we're talking about in camps in this generation where we're fighting a spectacular talent, where you're a constant call out in terms of hiring to fight in the camps against good opposition for him to fight taller or rangier fighters, right? But I'm sure um, uh, Shakur never thought that he was going to fight O'Shaquie Foster. I'm almost positive of that. But now it comes to the point where O'Shaquie gets the interview, and now everybody's sensitive instead of appreciate the work you give, because it still will be a good fight. I don't think that O'Shaquie can dominate Shakur because he's very, very elusive, but he does have a significant chance to be in contention to contend with him. I won't say he wins, but I will say that he knows things more than what other people do. Because again, we haven't seen a lot the best of Shakur yet. Because to his credit, until we seen the Tio fight, we didn't know Shakur could turn it up that much. You know what I'm saying? And that dude is talented, but because he doesn't have the power, is probably why Shaquille Foster is believing that he can do something against him. The reason why I beg to differ is because Shakur has proven in many fights that he could not be touched if he doesn't want to be touched, and he can find a way to win. So the only person I think that will give is the guy Mortalayev, or what is, I can't even pronounce the guy's last name. Murtala. Okay. Him and Tank. They're the only two guys I think that can give him problems. But other than that, will he put it off? Possibly, because he knows how to run, maneuver his feet. And I've been around a lot of talents in terms of pro fighters and seen stuff like that. I've even sport world champions myself. And I'm telling you, when you dissect the person in terms of sparring partner and fighting them, unless they are an extremely hard puncher, which honestly, power has nothing to do with skills, it does make a difference on your confidence coming into the fight. Because they have to understand sparring is different than actual fighting. But to some people, they really fight harder in sparring than they would in a real fight. So that's almost like a 22. But Shakur is an extreme talent. I mean, that guy is so good. In the fact that he goes around spars other people, different weight classes, is a bonus to his skill level for guys that's in his weight class.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Seafood will know about guys sparring harder, and fighting harder and sparring than they do in a real box, because one of Seafood's favorite fighters, Richardson Hitchens, he fight hard in sparring, but he don't fight hard in the real box.
I've heard the same thing about Hitchens.
I'm telling you, let me tell you, a few weeks, like maybe a month ago. I mean, Richard Hitchens comes down to our gym often, right? And I'm telling you, and I'm gonna say it on live. I'm gonna actually apologize for giving him a little criticism that I gave him, because he asked me to take him on the mitts one time, and that dude really can punch, but he chooses not to fight like that because he's thinking about the longevity of him as a fighter. When he told me that, I respected him for that, because I used to wonder why he never took risks. And now I know why.
I heard from a real good, but actually I saw the video. He let Tank kiss his gloves before he do mitt work and sparring.
I don't know about all that. That sounds gay to me. But all I can say is that I don't know. That sounds real gay to me. But
I mean, I'm just saying that's like why I formed my opinion about Richardson Hitchens from. I'm just being
let me tell you, Africa is a very, very, very good fighter. Very, very good. The only one I feel that he told me himself that will give him problems is Shakur. He said he just can't figure that guy out. That guy's that good. And again, Africa is a complete package. He just not considered a big puncher because he doesn't choose to fight and to go in there and fight. He just chooses to box him and break a guy down. But he does have good power, though. I will say that for a guy his
Lemos, that almost put him to sleep. Something nasty.
Yeah, but you got to think about
he showed nuts. He showed nuts in that fight. He fought back. He came back to it.
He had no choice, because that fight took him off guard, because he wasn't expecting him to be like that. It's different when you see a guy on TV and then you go in the ring with him. It's really different. Like I still think he would have got killed by, what is that, Almonte or the last guy, Duarte. I thought he was gonna, because he just was really not feeling things. I still think Duarte would have killed him, bro.
Duarte
was
with the health issues.
Marky, 1 second.
If he would have took that fight, if he would have taken that fight, feeling the way he was, he would have got knocked out.
So wait a minute, Sifu, you've worked with Hitchens a bunch of times. So you don't think Hitchens was skillful enough, or his mindset? Would it be because of skills or his mindset?
Not in the time frame when he got the food ingested in him and he felt the way he did. He would have got knocked out. Plus, the truth of the matter is it was a weight thing. The dropping the weight that he dropped when he dropped the weight. He didn't feel good. His body wasn't rehydrating the right way. And I don't blame him for taking it. Because I told him I thought it was a sucker move until he explained to me what happened. And I was like, oh, okay, got you. Now I understand. And I got to give him a pass for it because he's an exceptional fighter. I mean, I've seen him have wars with Abdullah Mason. Like, the dude is talented. I give it to him. The dude got skills. But if he would have fought Duarte that night, he would have not only lost his belt, but he would have lost his marketability, and he wouldn't have gotten the contract that he did with Zuffa. And I can't knock him for that either.
So do you believe he needs to be at 47? For sure.
Yeah, because he can't make the weight anymore. I told you guys, a lot of these fighters, regardless of what weight class it is, a lot of guys weight bully a lot to a point where they can't make it anymore. They are naturally bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, oh, they're moving up because they don't have a choice. Their body can't acclimate to that. Tom Porter used to fight at a heavier weight class as an amateur. And even Errol Spence. Errol Spence's problem was he weight bullied down so much that he couldn't change the way he fought. You know what I'm saying? He was dominating the way he was. He was never considered a hard puncher. He was just a banger to the body. He really committed to that. But until he got the upset. And then the thing is, a lot of people make these comments and criticisms on these fighters and don't do the research of who they are. Trust me when I tell you, I'm in the gyms and I was a fighter myself, and I'm telling you, when your body's not right, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth using a 6 or 7 figure payday because you didn't diet the right way. He never had a nutritionist until this camp.
So with that being said, Seafood, so like in that scenario, don't you blame the fighter in that situation for not taking care of his body between fights?
Okay, this is my answer. When you are in a situation where you dominated a lot of what most people consider the top 5 guys or world champions, and you did this on just regular gym etiquette, what the coach tell you to do and what you know to how to eat and stuff, without the nutritionist, because you're not realizing that your weight is an issue because you're growing. I can't blame him for that because he honestly didn't realize the importance of having a nutritionist. Look, Devin Haney did it. Devin Haney did the same thing.
Can't do that, champ. Hey, D-Free, real quick, can I get my intro off? And I ain't gonna be too long-winded, but I want to respond to some things I've been hearing up here. Okay. Shout out to everyone. But me, I'm the type of motherfucker that likes to be like consistent across the board, right? So I'm not gonna give one dude a pass while I don't give another dude a pass. So I say all that to say this. No, it ain't no excuse. I mean, you signed on the dotted line, right? And if you can't make the weight, if you felt like you couldn't, then if your nutritionist, as you like to say, felt that you couldn't, it wasn't possible because these dudes got it down to a science, then don't do it. Don't accept the fight. So I say that to say I don't pass out no passes, man. If you miss the weight, you miss the weight. Fighters in yesteryear, you know, I'm from the 80s, fucking Roberto Duran dropped like 50 pounds to make that rematch with Sugar Ray, even though he was undisciplined out of the gym. He said something like, I don't quote me on the amount of days, but something like 30 days, dropped 50 pounds, and the motherfucker did it. So I ain't passing out passes, champ.
But that's not healthy.
I'll put a bow on it. And I'll pass the mic. I said I ain't trying to be too long-winded, but no, I'm not giving anyone that credit or that excuse rather to do that. So and that's for every fighter. It's not that I'm hating on nobody specifically. I'm just saying that's how we did it back in the day. I'm from the 80s, and that's how we gonna do it henceforth. You know what I mean? That's a royal decree. So the king said that, but y'all got it.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Are you a fighter, or have you been a fighter, or have you done anything on any combat
I knew that was
sport
coming.
level?
No, and I keep it real. I keep it real. No, I have a
No, no,
channel.
no, no.
I
I'm
done a
not.
lot
I'm
of
not.
combat. Oh, yo,
Okay. I'm not trying to
I done a lot
be
of combat
condescending.
sports, but not boxing specifically. I got a belt, black belt in Taekwondo. I was state
Okay.
level in wrestling, but no. So you're talking specifically box, and I do jiu-jitsu as well. But if you're talking specifically boxing, no. But I know what a warrior's heart is, and I know what it takes. So, but hey, everyone just go ahead, man. Criticize. It's a good back and forth. Let's go.
No, no, it's not criticism. I'm just asking because I want to know like what affiliations you've been around to understand what fighters go through because are you just going by what you see on TV instead of being in the
No,
gym
no,
in the
no.
lab with them? All right. So if you did
Again, I'm glad.
Taekwondo, so if
Yep.
you're doing Taekwondo and you said you've competed, you've probably never been in a situation where weight was an issue.
Negative. However, in high school wrestling, it definitely was. So that's what I was going to say. I'm glad you asked that question. I definitely
Okay.
had to cut weight in high school, which might have not been the best idea, but I know what severe weight cuts is like, nigga. Back in that day, we was wearing trash bags, garbage bags
Yeah.
around us and running hills to cut weight.
Right.
So I know how severe it can be. But yeah, okay, that's cool. I ain't trying to come up here and be adversarial, but yeah,
No.
that's
I'm
my
not. I'm not
experience.
debating with you, brother. I'm just questioning to see because you're entitled to your opinion and stuff like that. I'm not saying I know anything better, but I'm just being. I'm questioning the knowledge, like where you're getting this from. Like to a degree, you're right. You sign a contract. You're supposed to be obligated to do the fight. Obviously, in these days, people pull out. You know what I'm saying? It was never heard of back in the days. But again, these guys are not as focused because now the money's the object, not just the competitiveness of just being the best. If you understand what I'm saying, it's more commercial now than anything. Do
I
I
do.
agree? Do I disagree? Do I agree with you when it comes to the weight class? I agree with you. I think that's some real punk shit. But at the same time, when I found out what the truth was, I can't knock him for it. Why would you risk your career based on a fight where you can get out of it? You know what I mean? Like, it's a catch-22.
Yeah, see, that's where we part ways, champ. I'm saying, don't agree. If you thought there was any risk of this too much for your career, I'm rocking with. When I signed up 154 in high school, that's the weight I got to wrestle at. I can't back out. I can't move down. So, hey man, say man, we just disagree on that point. But I respect you being cordial. I ain't trying to beef with nobody. But at least you was respectful with the conversation. That was a good back and forth. Yada.
We're going to see a lot of that stuff, bro. Even when Benavidez is another one. Benavidez comes from a higher weight and melted down so many years to the point where he had to drop weight. Like some guys blow up after fights 20, 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So it makes me think, what is your real walking weight?
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my question to any fighter, like anybody, it makes me think like how many guys, like how many people, what is their real weight that for them to melt down like 40 pounds for a fight? That's crazy to me.
Don't worry. David about to get his head knocked off pretty soon.
Yeah, but it can happen with.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna meet up real quick. I gotta calm down my dog. Hold on.
All right, go ahead. Where did Sifu go? Okay. Good conversation. What's up, BVO man? How you doing?
Oh man, I just thought I'd come through. My favorite Puerto Rican, even though you was cussing me out. Shout out to my
jumping me out.
What happened?
I don't know why it keeps jumping me out, but
it's cool. We got you.
Can you hear me,
who was I just talking to though? I didn't even know who I was talking to.
Oh, that was CJ Rich. He from the West Coast.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice speaking to you, Red.
Seafood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. It's specific. I know. Okay. So if you don't mind, let me get a little. Okay. Real quick though, just so you know, I'm coming from exactly. I'm from East Oakland. That was where I spent the first half of my childhood, and
Shout
then
out to the
I spent
Acorn.
the last half of my childhood in the burbs.
Shout out to the Acorn.
That's why I sound the way I do. I'm half hood, half suburban. So I just want to get y'all. Okay. Shut up. I just want to give y'all the background. because
Shout out to
niggas
the
be
west side of
questioning. But
Oakland, man.
yeah, half hood,
All right,
half
that's
suburban.
what's
So that's where I'm coming from. Yep. Shout out to you, man.
So
Okay,
you used to
well,
get chased on the CJ?
Is it me or is it breaking up? I don't know if it's me.
Oh,
or...
y'all
no,
breaking up.
That was BBO. He broke up.
Oh, it's me.
I think it's me. I think
who
it's me.
wanted
I'm
to
gonna
ask
mute
me
up.
the question though? Somebody wanted to ask me the question.
No, I was asking. Hey, see, they used to chase you on the BART?
They used to chase me on the where?
On the BART train?
I don't know what that means, but I don't know what you mean by
You
that.
don't know what that's about. Yo, it came from no niggas. I never been bullied. Yo, I ain't the biggest dude in the world, but for some reason, I think I just had the personality. I never been bullied in my life, so niggas get that twisted. But I
Did you
will
go to
say this: that
Skyline?
now that I'm an electrical engineer, I'm gonna say
Did you go
now
to
that I'm an
Skyline High
electrical
School?
engineer, Bart is my main client. No. See, that's what I said. My first half of my childhood was in East Oakland, and then I moved to the burbs. So no, I did not go to Skyline. But no, I went to elementary school in East Oakland. So, and that's where I'm from. That's my roots. You know what I mean? So no, I know a Skyline. I mean, my cousins went there, but no, hey, that would have been dope. Back then, that was like the prestigious school. You know, that was on the hilltop. So
So
my
you
cousin
don't know what the
Kiera went to
Cambodians
Skyline, but
then.
you a damn fool, champ. But I
Yo,
know
he's
about
like,
it, but I didn't went there. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, shout out to
let's get
Oakland, man. East Oakland ain't no place like it, man. It's the most fun place, but definitely shout out my second home, the West Side Acorn, man.
Facts. And just for the record, I'm in Sacramento right now. I'm in Macramento, as we call this hoe. But yeah, I'm rocking out. Always in Northern Cali.
Yeah, I don't know the
Are
gang
you
bang in
still
Sacramento. I
training?
can't get that.
What's good,
Damn,
BVO? I
y'all,
didn't
it
even know
might
you
be
were
my
looking.
connection.
yeah, BVO connection a little bit on and off too.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sifu.
No, I couldn't make out what you were saying because it kept going in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
So
I'm
let
good.
me
I'll tap back in when I get back home. But thank y'all for letting me on. Get my intro off on this hoe, but I'm gonna tap out because I don't want to mess with the quality of the stream. But shout out to y'all. I'll be
I
back.
appreciate you pulling out,
Appreciate
man.
the comment.
Salute to you. So let's get back towards the main event of tomorrow, right? Of all the fights, just so you know, get some predictions and whatnot. I like Oshaki Forster. I think Oshaki Forster also has been more battle tested, more proven, right? I think he's got a better resume. You know, his last 6-7 opponents have been solid opponents. I mean, from Ray Vargas on, I think he's fought good competition. Raymond Ford, his best fight is probably the Odebek fight when he became world champion, and that fight, you know, he had to dig deep to win because he was losing on the scorecards in that fight, and he got the stoppage in the last round. You know, but and then I guess his other better opponent was the dude from the UK that just lost, Nick Ball, and he lost a close fight. It was a fight that, you know, it could have went either way, and probably Nick Ball probably got the nod, you know, because it was in the UK. You know what I mean? So, you know, but with that being
Nick Ball
said,
had a nice little run.
Yeah, with that being said, I don't, you know, my personal opinion on Ford, I don't like the guy, to be honest, because I've heard some stuff about. I think he's a good fighter, but my thing in him, I don't know if he really takes the sport seriously. And the reason why I said that, because he's pretty much underachieved since winning the title, right? Yeah, he you know, he lost to Nick Ball and he's won, I believe, like 2 or 3 in a row. But that last fight against Supernova, he came in a little bit overweight. Remember, he just went up in weight from 126 to 130 and still overweight. He looked a little sluggish against an opponent in Nova that was on 2 weeks' notice, got the fight. You know, some people may have thought Nova should have got the nod. Nova's been getting some bad luck as far as decisions, you know, close decisions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure, but I also believe, and Sifu, you can touch up on this too because you've been around a long time in the gym with guys. I also believe that when you step up in competition, you also step up your game as well. So maybe Forster might be that guy that brings out the best of Ford, and we might see something different. But other than that, I got Oshaki winning a unanimous decision, and I don't think this is a close fight.
Wow,
Can I ask a question?
Wow, yes.
See, for when you see all this disrespect for Oshaki Forster, what do you think that's attributed to?
Maybe to Raymond. I really don't. You know, I've been around so many fighters who talk crap, man. It's like it's the norm. It doesn't shock me that they talk and push each other like that. I've seen it worse than that, honestly, bro. When the entourages go at it, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when we in those affiliations, to me, I don't really think they talking tough, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in places where the whole room is illin, and you're right in the middle of two different camps, and you cool with both sides. So as far as they're concerned, I'm thinking Oshaki Forster is looking at it as a business transaction, and he's trying to go on to the next because he feels like he get his just due. He thinks he can take on what people recognize as probably one of the best defensive fighters in the game because he's been in the training camps with them and stuff like that. And maybe he feels some type of way about that. And, he's entitled to his shot. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock the guy. I don't dislike him. I just think Raymond Ford is a really good fighter. Yeah, he has some blemishes and stuff on his record, but he's been always in tough fights. I don't know if his training camp is the right training camp for him. That's what I personally think. That guy that sits up there on the podium, I would never bring that guy to my training camp.
That's Shakur's cousin. That's Shakur's cousin. That's his
I think that's the reason why he's with him, because that was a hookup. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think that guy knows what he's doing, honestly. But I don't knock it because if it works for them, it works. But he's not what I would consider a strength trainer or a coach. I think he's a hype man of anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my opinion. Because as we go up in the days from fighter, like let's say if we don't go pro or whatever, I've sparred world champions. And a lot of these guys are getting really, really top-notch coaching and training, right? But today, in this day and age, I don't feel like this era of boxing is as serious as it was previously. So it's all about showmanship. Everybody's trying to be flashy. And, a lot of people come out the closet now. Like, I think it's crazy. But I think Oshaki Forster is he's a pretty good basic fighter. I think Raymond Ford is pretty good, very durable. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm rooting for Raymond, but I think Oshaki's gonna put it on him. I don't see a stoppage, but I do see a very competitive fight. I don't think that Oshaki could overwhelm him because Raymond is fast and he's very, very durable. But again, that's just my opinion of those guys. I think if Shakur fights him, you got to think about it. Shakur beat up a lot of people in the sparring gyms. You know what I'm saying? So I don't knock him for being a little cocky and doing it's like the bragging right. You know what I'm saying? But simultaneously, if it's Shaki's Forster's time to shine, then he deserves a shot. He is a world champion for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But him and Raymond Ford would be a good test for each other, I think.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The only one I don't want to see that is, who I don't want to see? The Schofield guys. I don't want to see them ever. Them dudes, they are polluting the game, bro. Like, real talk. Oh, my gosh, man.
And you know what? Let me ask you, because I feel bad. And that's because, I'm a little too nice. But you don't feel bad for Kid Austin?
No, I don't. I'm gonna tell you why I don't. I'm gonna tell you why I don't feel, because you like one time to bring this up. One time, me and D Free was on McLean's joint, and we had a debate about something. But it was because of that debate that made me say I can't speak on stuff that I don't know about, that I don't research. So from that, my respect to D Free for that, because he made me check myself on information, because stuff that he was saying made me like really go back and fact check it. I was like, yo, he was actually right. But when you think about the Schofields, think about the inactivity of where he came from. And then he's been knocked down before. He's getting too much credit for the Farmer fight. He fought Farmer was very, very active, and he's past his prime.
Yeah.
So let's say Schofield is a good fighter, right? Why is he not staying active in the game? He can still be fighting other fighters to keep himself fresh. Why should he get the Tank fight? Because he's the mandatory? This mandatories have been brushed to the side many, many times. Now they try to say he can't fight Lomachenko because he has his just due for this guy, for Tank. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I would have loved to have seen Floyd Mayweather fight Louis Collazo, but Louis Collazo got paid under the table not to fight, for him not to take the mandatory so that he could fight against what's that guy's name? He fought Jermaine. He didn't fight Jermaine, not Jermaine. Victor Ortiz and got knocked out. The black guy, but when he was supposed to fight Berto, that was the whole setup. But because that was the better offer, that's what they gave, and then he lost. But my thing is regarding Schofield, his father kills it. Like he need to shut the F up, bro, because and the thing is, the fact that you try to disrespect people, and instead of just letting your son speak for himself, and you're suing people for the spot. You know what I'm saying? Instead of staying active and staying the number one ranking, they keep, because he hasn't really fought nobody really, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So that's my question is, so now if he wants to fight Tank, now you know what the reason why they want to fight Tank, right? Because they think Tank is not meant, because they think Tank is not mentally ready to fight him, like they'll have a Lamont floor again, and they'll get paid, compensated pretty well, but they're not going to get the money they think they're going to make.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They'll probably get double what their last purse was. But if he unfortunately wins, do you understand? We'll never hear the end of it, bro. We'll never hear the end of that guy. I say flush him down the toilet, bro. Flush him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying when I say you don't feel bad if you feel bad for Kid Austin because of his father, because I think Kid Austin's a good kid, but I just think his father's just messing up.
I thought you were talking about as far as like
no, I don't feel bad for him at all. I'm talking about the fighter himself. That's what I say. You don't feel bad for the fighter himself because he's with his father.
Well, you know what? To a degree, you can't disrespect the dad, but at the same time, is a lot of father-son relationships don't really last that long. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, they try to set their way to be whatever. I just don't like the fact that he talks a lot of shit. Like to the point, because I'd be ready to step to a guy like that immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't stand the way he talks, bro.
The problem with Kid Austin, he can't leave his father because he still live at home. So that's the problem with him. He still live at home. If the man didn't live at home, it probably could be a easy way for him to say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with a different trainer. I still got love for you, my father, or whatever, but I'm gonna go with a different trainer. But the fact that he lives at home, he's never going to get away from his father until he becomes a man and get out on his own. That's when he'll be able to get away.
Well, I mean, his net worth is like $2 million. I know that's probably not a lot of money to most fighters, but that you got some generation money right there. And according to what
stuff is probably in his father's name. The way his father take over his Instagram, his father take over the house. All that stuff is probably in his father's name. He probably can't touch the money without getting an allowance from his father.
I mean, again, if that's your son, I understand the relationship. I just don't understand the politics of him talking caca because he's hating on everybody. I can't fucking stand a hater like that. Like that just rubs me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So when he always likes to downplay everybody, man. I wish Greg Hackett would have punched him in his face. That's what
that last thing that he said about Abdullah Mason. He said Abdullah Mason turned down the fight. They was going to take it for $1 million.
I know that's a lie. I know personally that's a lie. I know that's a lie.
I was like, hold up. You asked for 2.5 and then you turned around and asked for 10 million. You ain't taking no fight for no $1 million.
Let me ask y'all a question. Put it this way. Why should Schofield if people are turning him down, right? Because he really doesn't have the value to bring people in seats. He doesn't have the marketing value. So therefore, I can understand why Keyshawn Davis won't fight him. he don't bring nothing to the table.
Yeah.
Now, I do know that Abdullah does want that fight. Abdullah does want that fight.
I think Abdullah knocked him out.
Well, they supposedly sparring. They've been bragging about some sparring they had with Abdullah that they beat him up in sparring, which is you can't believe anything they say. But let me ask you something because I put an LD in the chat says, and I didn't see this. I don't know if any of y'all seen it. He said, "What are your thoughts about the evidence of poisoning?"
But we don't know if that could have been true, but we don't know who was by.
No, I'm gonna tell you like this.
But I don't believe it though.
I'm gonna tell you like this. That whole evidence, that whole paperwork that he put out, that was not true. For one, and Knockout put this out on his show. For one, they had a fight February 22nd. He didn't take a test until March 3rd. You went to the hospital. Wow. You went to the hospital. Why you didn't show the results of that test that you went to the hospital for? Because if you said you was poisoned, any hospital you go to, you say you don't feel well, you feel like you got food poison, whatever, they're gonna run tests on you, and they're gonna give you the results of what they found in your system, because they're gonna give you some medicine, so they need to know what's in your system, so the medicine they give you doesn't have a bad reaction. Secondly, what I saw on that paperwork was they did a hair follicle. Nobody does a hair follicle under 90 days. They do a hair follicle under 90 days if they want to prove they never had anything in their system. If you say you had something in your system and it's under 90 days, you're going to do a urinalysis or you're going to do a blood test. You're not going to do a hair follicle.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I knew that the paperwork was phony off the break.
That guy is unbelievable. Let me tell you, we spoken to him a couple of times, Floyd Schofield, and recently he was on
in person. In person?
No, on the panel. He's been on the panel. Yeah, he's been. So and then recently, just a few days ago, he was on BFTB's channel. I don't know if you know what BFTB is, and I was on. I got off the panel because I didn't want to talk to him at first because he lies, right? And then eventually I got back on. He was there telling all sorts of lies. He was talking about how the belts don't matter, but yet he's itching to fight for the belt. It was hilarious. And so I came up and I asked him, you said that belts don't matter, you don't care. So if you don't get the Tank fight, who would you fight next? Like, let's say you don't fight Tank. He was saying Lucas Body, and I was like, but why Lucas Body? Why not make a bigger fight with a bigger name than Lucas Body? And he's like, oh, because that's the way the rankings are. And I'm like, but you just said the belts don't matter. So like the guy is all over the place.
Hey, I got a question because my man Seafood's a trainer.
Right.
Seafood, what is the 5 styles of boxing?
No, yo, you must have been reading my mind because I was just gonna say the same thing. Yo, he kills me with the 5 styles because I'm gonna tell you how stupid I am. I was so aggravated with this guy when I see one of his interviews on Mill City, and he talking about the 5. So I actually researched what are the 5 styles of boxing. I was like, yo, I can't believe I'm following a retard. That guy's a retard, bro. This doesn't make me research something that crazy. That's why I don't like the guy, bro. I was like, yo, this guy is.
You're a trainer. You train champions, and this guy over here talking about the 5 styles of boxing.
Word. So I was like, yo, then he was like, he was getting other people to agree with him. Yo, we know the 5 styles of boxing. So I'm thinking he's either righty or lefty. That's the only styles I know of. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing martial arts and like kung fu or nothing. So when he said that, I was like, yo, I would love to be on the panel with this guy because we would really argue to a point where like, yo, tell your guy, send somebody to me, bro. Send them. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's a sucker anyway, bro.
Yeah.
Real talk, man. That guy just makes me feel different. This is what I feel about when I say it about black people. Like, where do they find these black people that make us all look bad, bro? They make us look bad.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, bro.
This guy is. Let me ask you a question because I don't watch Mill City. I'm not a fan. But he does get the interviews, right? What was Mill City's reaction to that? If you've seen it, because I didn't watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. No disrespect to Mill City when I say this. Mill City does not know boxing. I'm sorry.
I already know this. I know this. I just don't want to shit on nobody.
But he's the one that's blowing him up.
He doesn't.
He's the one that's blowing him up. That's making him famous.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I would look, but when I watch the interview, every time I see his face pop up, I always think of a gay painter or something like that. Like the guy just feminine to me. And the thing is, he disturbs my peace so much because he don't know shit. Did you see the video when he was trying to do mitt work with the noodles with his fighter? I was like, this guy's a joke.
Oh my God.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Guys like that made me want to slap him backwards. He made me want to pull out his extensions and slap him with it. He's just one of those type of guys, man. You don't know shit about boxing, bro. You sue it for money. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, we want our shot and we're going to do this. That's what it says in the bylaws. And the bylaws this. And I was like, shut the fuck up, bro.
See, this is what I asked you because listen, I don't want to disrespect nobody, but I already know I know he don't know boxing. But salute to him. He gets the interviews, he gets the guys to come up. But guess what? I've had people up and I've done interviews too, you know what I'm saying? But the guy is messy overall. So I was curious how his reaction was to a response like that with the 5 styles of boxing. Because it'd be hard
I
for
would
me
have
not to
questioned
laugh.
it. I would have questioned it.
No,
that's why I said
we questioned him. The man got to 4 and he ain't never go no further. He got the 4 different styles. He said a come forward, a pressure fighter, what do you say, a counter puncher, a boxer, and then he didn't say anything else after that. And he just started rambling on about different type of fighters. And I'm like, okay, get back to the styles of boxing. I want to know this 5th style. What is the 5th style?
Right, but see, I can see like how you said it. I can respect the way you said it if you said that, but we don't recognize that as a style. Yo, he's a pressure fighter, or sometimes he's just a boxer, or he's a outside guy, or he's a lateral guy, or he's a circling guy. You know, that's not. But you can't classify it as a 5 styles. Like this is the Shaolin Temple type of thing. That's the part that was killing me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, he was killing me. Yo, Free, he was killing me with that. I was like, who the fuck is this dude, bro? And the thing is, you know what? And real talk, like, I don't like to bash coaches because I don't believe it. I think that everybody has a voice for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, but my thing in my experience, in my career experience, I've learned to deal with the hate, right? But I really know my shit. It's not like I haven't been anywhere. It's not like I haven't flown places for this. I was a professional sparring partner. I was an Olympic coach for New York. You know, it's not like I earned my spot, right? The thing is, when I hear these guys talking, I have to call the BS. So I understand you want to protect your son. You want to look out for your generation. Well, I feel you. You know, you're bragging about that. You go on Rick Ross's sister. I mean, that's nothing to brag about. But if you want to put it out there, that's on you. But when it comes to boxing, that shouldn't even be a part of the equation. So when guys talk, like I'm telling you, if I ever had a chance to sit down with this guy, I'm telling you, we might be fist fighting within the next 5-10 minutes. Because as soon as he tell me something crazy, I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here with that, bro. Keep it real, man. Keep it real. You know you didn't beat no Abdullah Mason because they put out video. He was upset about the video being put out. Yes. So if you beat up, he tries to make it seem like his son got everybody ready as if he was the shit. So if you were the shit, why are you not the shit? You know what I'm saying? You've got a good promoter. De La Hoya makes things happen. Even though I don't totally agree with a lot of stuff he do, but I got to give him his props. He puts you in the forefront. Now he's trying to tell you what you're not ready, and you try to dictate what it is. You can't accept people's opinions if they don't say what you want to say. And I don't like people like that. But have an open mind. You know what I'm saying? I've been around all types of fighters, bro. When Abdullah Mason, I'm talking about him and his brothers. Those guys are sharp. When I seen it in person, I was like, yo, this dude is definitely special. He got skills. He would definitely beat the hell out of a Floyd Schofield. Floyd Schofield only got a puncher's chance. And remember, he's a manufactured fighter. He's not a guy who's coming up off of raw talent. He got Ronnie Shields that was training them, and whoever else he got working with him to make him what he was. His father has nothing to do with it. He's just the guy that carries the bucket. To me, he's nothing.
I got a question for you because I'm gonna close out pretty soon before we go to the final predictions. But question: do you know Coach Roman, Eric Roman?
Yes, that's my man.
Okay, yeah, because he got the gym up in Queens. He had the Masons work out in there. I don't know if you.
Yeah, that's the gym I'm at. I'm in Hellgate Boxing Gym.
Oh, you're in Hellgate. Okay, all right. Okay, I thought you was in Jersey. Okay, yeah.
No.
So so you definitely know Coach ER. All right.
Yeah, I know Eric for 17 years.
Firsthand because I think they were there. Like I want to say last month they were in there.
Yeah, they've come up a little. I've even given them a couple of my own apparel to them, and those guys are really, really nice guys. Very respectful guys, very humble guys. They definitely doing everything the right way. They're not in a rush to get to the title where they are, and they're very, very. They're not the type of guys like the promotions is trying to make them the shit talker type of guys, but they're not those type of guys. They're very, very respectful. The one that does talk shit is the father, but he does it in a nice way. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of rubs it because he always does it with a smile. So you got to respect the guy. I actually, one time he came to the gym and I talked to him for like a long time, and we was like really, really vibing. I was asking him questions that you guys would ask people. You know what I'm saying? But he's telling them like they wanted to fight Keyshawn Davis. But when Keyshawn Davis moved up, that lost their dream of getting the title. And they was wanting to fight whoever. The thing is, not Floyd, Abdullah has sparred Shakur and all that type of stuff. Very, very good fighters, but he doesn't care about that because he wants to be a champion. You got to respect the guy for that. But he's a very, very sharp fighter. I give it to him. Okay. And I was talking shit to him too, just to check his temperature. You know me, I gotta check everybody. I was talking shit to him to check his temperature. He really about his joint. Like he really is a friendly guy, very respectful. He talks to the other kids that we had in our gym. And our gym we always keep our gym open for everything because I think we get some of the best work in New York City. I will say that.
No, absolutely. So, yeah. Coach
hey, I got one question for Seafood, and you know what it is. You know what I'm about to ask you.
Oh, here we go. About Amanda?
You already know.
Oh, I was going to ask about that. Yeah, because that's what D3 was saying. Go ahead.
Amanda, Cindy, and Jordan are my really good friends. I've known them for like 18 years now, right? I've known them when they were at nothing. And the thing is, we've always had a good rapport because we've been in a couple of gyms together and stuff like that. The thing is, Amanda is in a very leadership promotional role now. So she promotes the women from MVP as well as fight because she wants to go out, retire as a champion defending her weight class because she fights out of her weight class. There was talks of her fighting against Alicia Baumgartner, but because of the allegations, it kind of put it on hold. The other fight the last fight with Katie Taylor, that was a problem. And then she had a really bad training camp where she got hurt by one of the male sparring partners. So she had to really move around with a hairline fracture rib. So now that she's healed up and stuff like that, the fight with her and Baumgartner, if it was to ever materialize, that would be a big fight. But I personally don't want her to do it. I just don't think that. I think she's done enough for boxing. She's, let her enjoy the fruits of her labor. You know what I'm saying? She told me that they're really trying to blow up Baumgartner as the new face for women. So I understand the controversy with her and Clarissa, because that's a big thing. But Amanda's I was trying to really plug D3 in it, right? But D3's not in New York, so it would have been easier for me to do it there instead of take the phone to you. Huh?
My co-host TD's in New York. He's in the Bronx.
I'm in the Bronx. Yeah. So I'm. That's what I'm saying. I know Eric. I know Coach ER. I know Clarence. Yeah.
Okay.
You but the thing is, in the chats.
No, but Clarence pulled up, and I introduced him to her. You know what I'm saying? And he had this little interview and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you. When it comes to Amanda, Jordan's very protective of who she's around.
Yeah.
I'm really the only one that he allows me to be around her that's outside the affiliation, because I've known them forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they buy me stuff for Christmas and stuff like that. You know, we had that type of relationship. I know the kids. You know, we buy each other stuff and stuff like that. So I have a very good rapport with them. It's just hard, especially now, because she's the shizzle now. Like, she got her own shows. She gets sponsored by car companies and everything. She's doing her own thing. But you know, she's gonna be a full-time promoter after this because she signed another girl. But if I could do it, I'll do it, because I'm always have you in mind. It's just they spontaneous, because they fly in and out everywhere. Yeah. They're never like in New York locally like that anymore. You know, because she has a house over in Puerto Rico, so she's looking to live there. And
I think she has a gym out there also.
Yeah, there was talks of that. I don't know if that's going on, but she's gonna do another MMA fight too. That's in the works too. I wasn't supposed to tell you that, but
I heard about that. I didn't know how accurate that was, though. I did hear.
For the record, Sifu, how long have Amanda Serrano wanted to fight with Alicia Bongard?
She always Amanda's not the type of person that would not take on any challenges. Because Alicia Barnagat was in the spotlight is the reason why she would have taken the fight. You know what I'm saying? I just personally didn't want her to fight her because I felt like there would be an edge on her part because she's the new fresh one. But once I found out the obligations, I was hoping that she was never going to, that would never materialize, because I don't want her to go out on a shield like that. Not saying she would lose. I personally think if it was a couple of years ago, like when she fought Katie Taylor the first two times, I think she would scrape Alicia, only because Alicia has conditioning problems. And I've been in the training camps and seen what Amanda can do. She's really all about her business. But to do it now, I don't think she should do it now. I think she's at her time. Let her go out, as an undisputed champ at 126, and just let her ride her in the dust. Because she really is a sweet person. She's really trying to promote boxing for 3-minute rounds for women. She's really going in on that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's really big with that. And I you got to respect her for that, because no other woman is fighting for it. Every woman that talks about it, somebody say, yo, Sifu, stop snitching. Yo, that's funny. Yeah, I'm not snitching, bro. I'm the hype man, like Flavor Flav. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting them know they coming. But I have a really good relationship with them, and the thing is, they were my friends before the boxing, so it's not like we just met each other like that. You know what I mean? It's or in the gym. But we got history, so it's not like I can't just call them up. So. What up, Yoda Wise? What up, Crush? But me personally, I would want her to see her fight that Alicia. I think there's a lot more to Alicia than people say. I don't think she's totally clean in the sport, to be honest. But neither was Katie Taylor. So a lot of people be cheating, bro. People just don't say it, but I say it. I don't care.
Real quick, before I gotta close up a final prediction. Somebody would ask. I figured we're gonna get you on when the fight gets closer. We're weeks away, but just like maybe a 1-minute thing. Xander Boots. What do you like in that?
Boots by knockout. Boots by knockout. Xander. Again, I'm gonna say this again because I try to make people understand. They're hyping it up because he's the taller guy. He's another one that weight bullies too, right? Xander is a good fighter, but Boots is a great fighter. He does everything on the checklist better than Xander. Everything. And I can see he could probably give him some make it competitive for the first few rounds, but once he dials in, that's it. It's a wrap. Because if you go back and look at the last 3 fights of Xander, he does nothing spectacular that will keep somebody like Boots, who's sharp as he is, off of him. I can't see it. And remember, Xander Zayas is a converted. He's really a southpaw, but he fights conventional, right? I still cannot see him beating Boots unless the only way that can happen is if Boots does something really stupid, and then gets clipped. That's the only way. Otherwise, that fight is not going 12 rounds, bro. I'm telling you, he's going to stop him.
Okay, I'll stop you there because we're gonna do a show and we're gonna when the fight gets closer, and I definitely would like to have you on. But because I want to talk about when we do have you on, I'm gonna bring up both trainers as well. So you give me a trainer's point of view on both trainers because both guys have really good trainers in their corner. So
right, but okay, we'll wait to the thing, but at this point of the game, it has nothing to do with the trainers.
Okay.
It had to do with the attitude because, Boots ain't never been fired up for a fight like this before. You know what I'm saying? He's going to destroy that kid. Watch. You see?
Okay. We'll definitely have it. But let's do final prediction for the main event tomorrow, and then we are out because I got to get off.
Who's the Shockey Foster?
Shockey Foster and Raymond Ford. Who you got? And maybe a brief reason why, or just who you got and how they win.
I really want Raymond Ford to win because I would like to see him do more in boxing. I think he's more entertaining than Shockey Foster. But I think Shockey Foster is just overall hungrier fighter. I think he'll pull it off. And that's just the way I feel about it. I'm not too big on those Shockey Foster, but I gotta give him credit because he is a world champion.
Okay. D Free.
I got O'Shaquie Foster, unanimous decision. I think it's going to be a close fight early on because there's going to be a lot of emotion, and I think O'Shaquie going to pull away the second half of the fight.
From Facebook, tomato. That's crazy.
You're going to get that, right? Because you got Xander fans and they're going to be Booth fans. That's why I want to build it up and wait till maybe a week before or the week of the fight.
Yeah. I respect that. But you know what? You can't help because that's an interesting parlay that Xander just came out of nowhere into the scene. Feel me? After the Virgil joint. So it makes it interesting, but I just don't think he's seasoned enough to deal with Boots.
Okay.
I really don't. I just think
I kind of said the same thing. I think I love Xander and I like Boots. Right. And I'll just put this out there, and I've been saying this over and over, and I get crucified by guys like Frontline, right? I'm gonna root hard, and I might be in the building. I haven't made a decision if I'm going yet because I might be doing something. But if I make it to the fight, I'm gonna be with my Puerto Rican hat. I'm gonna be rooting hard for Xander, cheering him for every punch, everything. But I just don't think he wins, and I think Boots is gonna win the fight. That's just, and I think Boots is gonna stop him.
Wait. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Now, when you say that you think Boots going to stop him, what is it that you feel that gives Boots the edge? Because Boots has been getting a lot of naysaying criticism due to this fight, like Frontline saying about the tomato cans. It really has nothing to do with that. But what makes you feel that you're so sure about Boots winning?
I'm so sure because I really think Boots hits harder than what people.
But really but people shouldn't recognize people because of power.
No.
Power.
Yeah. But that on top of because you could punch and then Xander could take a good punch too, right? Because I see Xander take some good shots and stay there. And I seen Xander buckle a couple of times in person, in live. So I've seen him get hurt, right? So I think Boots' punch placement and his athleticism is going to be a little bit too much for Xander, and it's going to overwhelm him. And I just have a bad feeling that Xander's going to try to look
right, Carbon.
Hold on, because Xander likes to, he likes to hold a little bit and tie you up a little bit. I just, for whatever bad reason I have, bad feeling I have, is he's going to look to tie up and he's going to get caught with something nasty and not recover. That's
right.
I see it. So.
Yeah. So you think are you like implying that he's almost chinny? I won't say chinny, but he's
no. I don't think he's chinny at all. I think the weight is too much for him. I think he should be moving up to 160. So I think
got
killing
you.
himself. I think he's killing himself also at 154. I think if he moves up, I think he brings that power with him because he hasn't stopped anybody in a while either. And another thing Xander hasn't done as much as he used to is go to the body a lot, which I would love to see him do in this fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think him killing himself to make 154 is also, it's going to make him a little bit weak on fight night also. So just all of that put together is why I think Boots wins the fight. I just hope that I'm wrong. Right? That's all
you
it is.
want Xander to win?
I want Xander to win. Yeah, I'm gonna root for Xander. I hope that I'm wrong.
Bro. He's gonna beat Xander like Lipnitz, like he fought Lipnitz. That's how bad it's gonna be. It's gonna be that ugly.
Jesus.
Don't do my man Xander like that.
I'm sorry, bro.
Xander a good young kid. The only reason why I want Boots to win is because Boots is the older fighter, and if he lose, I don't think he could come back from it. I think the fans are going to say he was hype. He was a hype job, and he lost to Xander. I don't think he can come back from it. Xander's 23 years old. He can come back from a loss from Boots. He can come back from that. I don't think Boots can come back. I mean, he could come back as a fighter, but I don't think he will have the same support of the fans if he loses Xander.
Yeah, it'd be like Superman is really Clark Kent, not Superman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get it.
I think Boots can come back as a fighter. It's just he won't have the same support.
No, I'm still gonna rock with him. I mean, I like Boots, but everybody brings up the Karen fight, and I still think that's irrelevant because Karen got skills and he got good footwork. He had really good footwork. Xander don't got footwork like that. You know what I'm saying? And even though he's considerably taller or whatever, if he comes in at 175, I'm telling you, Boots is going to I'm telling you, he's going to beat him like Lipnitz. Watch. He's going to beat the crap out of that guy, bro. He's too sharp. He's too sharp. That's a day not to be Latino, keeping it real. That's the day. That's the day you don't want to be that. You don't want to be a Latino minority. You want to be a black minority.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
hey,
listen, I hear you, C4. We're gonna talk more about it as the fight gets closer.
Did this man Seafood just put us down on the low? Did he just put us down on the low?
Yeah.
Listen, black and brown, we the same, bro. I don't know why people try to separate us because of the language. We're the same, bro. We still gonna be looked at the same way as everybody else. But in this situation, it just happened to feel that, you know what I'm saying? I would have thought that the more competitive fight would have been a Virgil than Xander. Because Xander moves around a lot, but when he gets him, it's gonna be ugly.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Watch. You'll see.
With that being said, guys, I'm gonna close it out. I got Oshaki unanimous decision tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets dropped in this fight. I don't see a stoppage. I wouldn't be surprised somebody gets caught and gets dropped. I could see Ford coming in and maybe landing something, getting a flash knockdown on Oshaki. But nevertheless, I got Oshaki outclassing him and winning unanimous decision.
Wow, unanimous. I would have said split, but unanimous, that's I'm definitely going to be paying attention to that, though.
Okay. Well, they both. Well, I know Ford is a Jersey guy, but he lives in Texas now, and Oshaki's a Texas guy. So, never know where the judges are going to lean. So,
I mean, how long has Raymond been out there for? Like, he just moved there? You mean?
No,
he trains in Houston, but I think he's living out there as well.
Yeah, he's living out there.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was living there. I thought that was like he's doing a camp there. But okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard he's living in Texas right now. So
okay, that must be the place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you that.
All right, guys. C4, I appreciate you coming up, man. This was great.
No problem,
man.
brother.
Great.
It's a pleasure. Appreciate you having me up.
Absolutely.
All right, D-Free.
Great show, D-Free. I appreciate you as always. Appreciate everybody that came through. Salute to everybody. We respect everybody's opinions. We dropped the link. You guys could always come up and talk to us as well. You know what I'm saying? So I hope everybody has a great weekend and enjoys the fights. D-Free, any final words?
Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. Tomorrow, because it's gonna be some good fights. And I believe we will be calling the fight. I'm not sure if we're gonna do it on my platform or if we're going to do it on BBOs, but we will be calling a fight. So I'm gonna touch bases with BBO, see if he's going to call a fight. If not, I will be calling it on my channel tomorrow night.
Okay, absolutely. And of course, shout out to BVO and shout out to UD Free. Shout out to the People's Network, the Sports Talk Network. Shout out to the US 6 Usual Suspects as well. And shout out to the chat and everybody that's watching. Enjoy the fights, and we'll talk soon. And as we'll close out with my man, one of the greatest Puerto Rican champions of all time, one of my all-time favorites right now. Yeah, buddy.